And what is going on, people? I am proud to announce that President Trump has signed on the dotted line, and next podcast will be going live for at least the next 3 weeks. What is going on, everybody? Everybody in the chat, I hope you are excited for tonight's show. Bring in that energy. We have some fire topics to talk about, but we can't get into that before we get into the intros. So let me introduce one of the most charismatic and opinionated people, and somebody who can rival Mooch when it comes to yelling. Knoxximus!
Yo, what's good? What's good? Who, me? Yo? Nah, brother. Come on.
Well, bro,
kind heart. I'm a gentle soul, man.
Bro, I love how you did a special guest appearance last night on Crossfire.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yo, Mooch was hyping up like how you were yelling. I love how you came in. Can you do that again for this show? How did you come in for the intro on Crossfire?
It was like, yes, hello everyone. This is Knoxximus here, and it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be great. Crossfire was awesome, and the next podcast is gonna be just as awesome or more so. Yes.
Nice, brother. I can't wait. Of course, we're gonna have to talk about Anthem and stuff like that. Hopefully, the people out there, make sure you have whatever speakers at a proper level, because it might get loud in here. But next on the list, coming live from the 405, and he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamer out there, our brother K Mega.
Oh man, after this week, I will no longer be talking from the previous, the X, I'll be, because you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go straight PC Master Race on y'all's ass. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no Sony.
Oh, he's turning elitist, people.
Ain't no Sony PlayStation. Ain't no Nintendo. No. My new side chick will be the Xbox. It's all about PC Master Race. You got me fucked up. It's always Xbox first, PC second, PlayStation third, maybe Nintendo third, PlayStation fourth, whatever the case may be. The thing of it is this: I will not be on this computer after this show, man. I cannot wait to start tinkering and hopefully not blow some shit up tonight.
Yeah, so if he's not on the show next week, it's because he couldn't get the sucker together all week long, by the way. Yeah, but guys, I think what's going on here, K Mega is getting a more powerful PC. I saw some of the hardware that he is building. I think the K in K Mega is now going to stand for keyboard and mouse.
Ooh,
oh!
I like that. But I'm still the king of the A button, so I mean that. You know what I'm saying? So the subjects of the A button have to, I have to stay in that kingdom. But yes, I will dabble with the mouse and keyboard. It's just it's really for me. I just want to have a capable computer.
He wants
to do
put
the
on more emulators is what it is, man. He needs more emulators.
More emulators and better streaming. That's what I want to do, baby. That's what I want to do. So let's get it.
Nice. And last but not least, as you can see right now, this man won last week's gaming poll for the best gameplay on the show. He calls himself the sixth man of the year when it comes to gaming podcasts in the community. We see him as a starter here on Next Predator.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy to be here. I've been on this goddamn Anthem. I know we got a lot to talk about this game. So let's get it going. Let's go.
Definitely. And before we do that, guys, you know what to do. Slap that thumbs up button. I actually have to do that myself. I didn't do that yet. Slap that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, look at the show that is in front of you right now. You know you want to subscribe. And shout out to Pink Floyd for being the first person in the chat tonight. Good job, Pink. It was really good to see you in there, coming in first. And on that note, there is a demo that I believe some people are playing. I believe a lot more people have gotten in today in comparison to yesterday, but it's a little game called Anthem, and I think people in the chat, you guys might have heard of it. There seems to be a little hype going on with this, kind of like looter shooter from BioWare. Let's see, everybody on the panel, who has played this demo?
I have.
Okay,
finally.
We got Knox, we got Pred, and Mega, you played, right?
Yes.
So guys, unfortunately, your fearless host is the only one who hasn't been able to play the demo yet. So we're going to ask these guys their opinion on the demo, the gameplay, all that good stuff. And let's start with the gameplay winner himself. While his gameplay is going on here, Pred, you got your hands on the game. I believe you even added more gameplay today, even though you won last week. You know what? Before we get into that, guys, the panel has to get a major shout out here, guys. Every week they come with gameplay. All right, every week they do their damnedest to make sure that this podcast is the most unique looking podcast that you guys have seen, and I think we're definitely doing that. I think I haven't seen a podcast out there that really looks like this one. And guys, I think the panel definitely needs a shout out for being able to get their gameplay in on the show on a weekly basis. And Pred went double time, so he even has gameplay that's going to be in the voting tonight as well. But Pred, what do you think about that demo Anthem, man?
You know, I played the alpha as well, and I can say that it's definitely a must buy for me. I'm loving what I'm playing so far. Just the customizations of your javelin and stuff like that. I can see a lot of elements of Destiny in this game.
What? No, you can't. It's different.
I can. I can. And it kind of like it merges like Destiny and Mass Effect, Andromeda, and into one game. That's what it just feels like. Both of those games can merge into one to me. So after playing it in the alpha and playing it again like religiously this last couple of days, I can see where all the hype came from. I just hope it's just not going to be like the regular. I don't want the Division effect, you know, where it's like so fun right now, and then in about 2 weeks, you know, we're just like, ugh, you know, like I'm tired of this game. Let's move on to something else. Like when the Division came out, like that's how it felt. Like a lot of people kind of just abandoned it because it was broken mess, and you know, there's really nothing to do. This with all these type of games, whether it's Division, Destiny, this game, any game that comes out like this, where it's like a shooter, a looter shooter like this, like you have to have content to keep it relevant. And if they can't do that, then I see a lot of people kind of jumping out of it. I think in the initial stages, though, the first month, this game is going to be hot. Like everyone's playing it now. Well, everyone that can get into it is playing it now, and I can see people playing it at launch if it's not really completely jacked up from the very beginning when it comes to all the issues it's having so far right now, which I'm sure we'll get into later. But I love it. I mean, I'm having fun with it. Even the limited stuff I can do with it. I just started doing stronghold missions for the first time today, and they're really difficult. You know, you can change the difficulty level on it too, but like they're still hard though. Even if you put it on easy, they're still not easy.
But if you make it more difficult, the chances of you getting better loot is a lot better, right?
Yeah. You get like a 100% chance of getting at least the top end shit, you know. So it's fun, especially when I started playing with other people. Like me and Knox played earlier today. I played on PC with Mooch. I played with the Four Guys Recorders guys today as well, and it's fun when you get, you know, a squad together and go at it. And you're teaching each other how to play the game. But I mean, I love it. It's a fun game. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
So you're excited for the whole game then. Now, you said about the Division because when the Division released, I guess there was a few issues there. Did you see any? Because in this demo, I mean, let's be honest here, the game's is right around the corner from a full launch. Did you see anything that caused like concern in terms of like gameplay bugs? Glitches, anything like that, yeah?
I'll let Knox talk about his situation.
Yo, Knox, that was classic. He just can't.
Man, because I already know he's gonna say. I mean, outside of those bugs, that especially the one Knox is gonna talk about, there's some little nuances in there that kind of piss me off that I wish that they didn't put in the game, or maybe they'll add it later. Like, you know, I have to go to the forge to fix my character. I can't do it on the fly. There's a lot of load screens in the game that I think are unnecessary.
Do you have to ride a horse to get to the forge?
No running when you're
no running when you're in like what I keep calling it the
tower.
But it's not the tower. I think
I think it's called Fort Tardis,
something like that. Yeah. Like you can't run in there. I get tired of just walking. I just want to get from point A to point B. And there's a lot of times I just want to get into a mission. I don't feel like going and sitting in the city. Like, give me the option. Like, at least Destiny, they give you the option. Do you want to go to the city or you want to go to the map? Like, they give you the map right there at the beginning. You can just fast travel there. Whereas, I mean, again, it's the early build, so I don't know what's going to happen later on.
Is it though? If it's a demo, I don't
No,
think
we're playing the earlier build of this right now,
according to them.
According. Well, hold on. I want to get Knox's opinion as well, but it seems I don't know if we can say we have been invaded because it is a family member, a panelist. But it seems that we have another member of Next Podcast who has decided to join us live. Our brother, the Angry Otter himself, Dark Ottomus!
What's up?
What's up, brother?
I'm invading you like, Independence Day. But with Dark Goldblum.
Okay,
Dark Goldblum.
So are you here to save the podcast? Is that what you're trying to do right now?
No, I'm here to destroy it.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna make a mental note of that. But dude, did you happen to get into the Anthem demo?
I did. I played a little bit for like an hour yesterday. It was so laggy, dude. I couldn't even play it.
Really?
And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to play it because I know they'll probably fix out all the kinks or whatever that they had going on there for a minute there. But what I played of it, I mean, I played a little bit with Punk Kiddish. I played a little bit with Salty. I played some with some other guys. It was good. It's just I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to invest my time or my money into another looter shooter, especially since Destiny has burned me so badly. It's just it has that feeling of like Destiny, like Pred was saying, it does have that Destiny feel at certain points in the game. But I think it also has that Mass Effect feel, which I actually like about it. But it's like, come on, like I kind of wish that they would have just made an RPG again, like just another RPG. And I know we're gonna get that probably with, the next Dragon Age or whatever. But it just really kind of sucks because I was really hoping that this game was really gonna grab me.
But Dark,
not saying it wasn't fun. But it's a lot of fun. It's
Dark,
good game. It's just...
What about all the times like people are saying that they want to see publishers kind of like or developers expand on what they can do something different. 343 should do more than Halo. So BioWare, I think they're kind of stretching out. They're doing something that is kind of different, maybe.
Right.
Than what they're doing.
It is. It's different. It's definitely different. I think they're, they kind of know what they want to do with this game, and I think it'll do well. I think a lot of people will play it. I think I just don't know if I'm gonna get it day one. I might wait a little bit to get it because I don't want to deal with all the servers and things like that. Because you're gonna have to deal with that for like a week at least, or maybe even a couple days. Who knows?
Oh, I thought you might say more than a week. If anything with what this demo like the launch, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I do want to hear about what you guys thought about kind of like the launch of this demo and whatnot.
Right.
But
well, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad game. It's a good game. It's just not.
Did you pay $60 for a remake of a game from 1998?
No.
Okay, then we're still good. We're still good then, man. Yo, Knoxximus, I think you might have some opinions on this game. I asked Predator about any bugs or glitches, and all of a sudden I heard an evil laugh in the background. Dude, what do you think about this demo so far, gameplay-wise? And I believe you canceled your pre-order, so you got to let us know with your opinions here if you decided that you're going to do a 180 and pre-order it again.
Well, I definitely canceled the pre-order, and there's really no rush for me to go ahead and put the pre-order back on because I already got in the beta, so whatever.
I'm already in.
Yeah, finally, right? I mean, but I do have to admit, when we finally got in after Predator and I sat there and doing little tricks just to be able to play together, when we finally got it running, it was pretty cool, bro. It was like,
you said tricks?
Yeah, we had to do, because what happens is, right, it's gonna load up, and then the bar is gonna freeze almost at the end of loading it in. So one of us has to back out, go back in, let it load in. It'll load him in, and then I can back out and join on him and continue. So we had to do that insanity just to get it going.
I'm crying right now, dude.
Friggin' Pred's gameplay.
No, I'm laughing at what he's saying in terms of the hoops that they found they have to jump through.
Yeah, but then when we finally got in, it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty dope. Like I can see the potential that the game has. The shit is beautiful looking. The game is graphically nice. You know what I mean? I like the way you move. You know, the flying and the staying in the air and shooting down. The enemies are tough and it's challenging, but not in a overly cheap way. Yes, some of them could be spongy, so I could see how that could come into effect. But
like those Titans, right? Those big ass Titans. I heard they're pretty rough, man.
They are, but if you combine the shit right, like there was one where Pred froze one, and then I threw a fire grenade at him, boom, exploded. That shit was pretty dope. Like if your team is playing right, it was me, Pred, and shout out to my cousin, one Bronx boy. We were rocking that shit. It was hot. We even came across like this little puzzle, if you could call it that. We figured that shit out pretty quick. It was cool. It was cool. I see the potential in the game, but I also see a lot of issues with the game. You know, like we were doing this mission, and this boss that was tanky as fuck, right? So we fighting. I get glitched into the environment. My dude is stuck, falling down an infinite hole that there really ain't no hole, but he's just there falling down. I can't get out. We like a couple of hits away from passing that level and ending the boss. The whole team goes down. The whole team wipes, but I'm still alive because we're stuck in the hole. I'm stuck there floating around.
Yo, like Loki in space, like it was falling for like I don't know how long.
It was hilarious, bro. I couldn't even help it. I was just laughing, bro, because what we did, Pred was like, yo, I know what to do. We did the trick. He got out, rejoined back on me. Bronx got out. They both rejoined. They revived this dude Avenger that was on our squad, got him up, beat the boss. We passed the level and we got our loot. My dude was still floating and stuck in the glitch, but the level was passed. Look, getting stuck in glitches and shit like that, I know that those are problems that are gonna happen. That's cool. I could deal with that. You know what I mean? Maybe now that they see that these things are happening, they'll do something to like let you be able to like get pulled out of that, because that could be pretty game breaking if we weren't able to just wipe like that and come back in. You know what I mean? That would have, and we were like a few hits away from ending the boss, the final boss of the stage. So that would have been whack if we couldn't have got that done. So they could fix that, but server issues and shit like that will be unacceptable at launch. So we'll see.
What do you think about like these glitches and everything like that? Do you think that they're gonna have them like addressed with a patch on release date? Or
I will hope so, because I'm not buying that this is a 6-month-old build. If you have a better build, why the hell would you give us a 6-month-old one to preview?
Yo, for
that
real.
shit doesn't make no sense. That's a load of horse shit.
Oh,
but you know, just keep it real. See, my thing is, what happened yesterday, right? That had me irate. If this was CD Projekt Red, I'd be like, man, hey, no, it's all right. There must have been something that went wrong. It must have been a catastrophe over there. When it's EA, it's just like they just fuck it, put it out. Let them play. We got a million what? How many?
So you're saying you're a double standard?
Whoa! Yo, all we
I am.
All we need is snaps. We'll have like the whole family.
CD Projekt Red is not known for their shiesty shenanigans like that.
I'll be honest with you. When people have a double standard about things, developers don't tend to listen to those opinions.
EA is not gonna. EA is a publisher. They're not gonna listen to my opinions anyway. Because
they're listening. They're listening to a lot of people.
They don't care. EA has shown that they don't give a rat's ass about its consumers.
Trust me, I just filed 10 bug reports. They care.
Okay.
They need to show me.
Don,
that.
does
I'm
anybody?
glad you saw that, Don. They need to show that shit
Does-
to me. I'm the one shelling out the 65 yuccas, and
No, you
we all
didn't. You
know
got a
what
refund.
yuccas are. No, but
Yeah.
but
You canceled the
I mean, you
pre-order, man.
pre-order. You didn't.
Hey man,
Five.
listen. Don has been in the. He's been in the chats with me and 100 and Lemon and all them. He's got the spice, man. First, he was when we first came in. He was regular Don. Come in here. I want to offer everybody some potato salad. Now Don is throwing all types of savagery around. Like it's crazy. Like today he was just throwing just savagery just at everybody. Like, goddamn, Don, back off. Like it's great though. I love it. So
Well, Don, does anybody?
We got the hood Don back. With the Don that came from Compton back. Not the Utah Don, the Compton Don.
Compton Don.
Yeah,
Don can feel however he feels. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You're a developer. You want to take this side. That's all good. I'm a gamer. I'm on this side.
Oh,
No, I just want to take
we're
all
the ones
things
that
in
speak.
consideration.
Oh, hold on. They'll be back. Yeah.
Practices have to stop.
There
Like
you
I
go.
said, I'm not investing in a house. When I invest in a fixer-upper house, right, I'm going to buy the house. It's a
But
fixer-upper. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to flip it. I'm not buying a game to fix it and flip it. I'm buying a game to play it.
You advice so you can be heard. You understand that, right?
Well, Don, how many people? Is there anybody that works at EA? Do they watch this show?
Some may. They know where I'm at.
Okay.
They know where they can find me.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, and Knox is right in the sense where, you're spending $1, and if they haven't earned your $1, you shouldn't buy the product. I 100% agree with anyone that has that stance. As a matter of fact, you should have that stance.
It's the consumer's prerogative, right there.
Exactly. What I'm saying is you should look at things balanced and fair. So when you give one developer a pass and not another, that sends a mixed message. And so one of two things are going to happen. Either they may listen to the right message, the wrong message, or not listen to you at all. Yeah. And 2 out of those 3 are not very productive. One of them is, right? So when I'm saying, hey, you got to be consistent on what your stance is of why you like things or why you dislike something, that's what the only thing that's going to make things better. And gamers are not going to agree. I mean, that's the harsh reality as well, too.
But here's the thing, Don. I'm not saying I don't care. BioWare, if it's one of my favorite, game developers. I love the Mass Effect series. It's my favorite RPG series next to The Witcher. And so that's why I immediately compared them to CD Projekt Red.
But you also criticized them for a 6-month-old build, and that was the most stable build they probably had.
Okay, so then you're telling me that that's the same thing we're getting come February 22nd.
No, because what happens is, so games, as you add more content and more things, more systems conflict with one another, there's more bugs to crush, right? So games get infinitely awful right before launch, and then they slowly kind of come together. So this is probably the most playable build for the general public that they have on there. And they also have to stress test the servers. I mean, that's the whole point of all this, right? Is to push them to the outer limit.
Hold on. Stress testing the servers has to deal with usually a beta. This is a demo. All right, that's different.
It's an unfinished game, so I mean, beta, demo, wherever you want to call it.
Well, a demo can be an unfinished game, or it can be a slice of the actual game itself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a beta is used for testing. A demo is used for promotion, marketing, and hype.
Yeah, well, how long have we been using betas for marketing?
Yeah, well, see, that's on the publisher's fault right there. But this one right here is called a demo.
I mean, it's been over 20 years. Not 20, but 15 years of publishers doing this. So, I mean, it's not the first time.
20 years since.
I mean, how long is that
using a beta for
how long has the Xbox 360 been around?
360.
Over 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I meant, 15 years. So probably around 14, 13 years of this started happening, because we have been a couple years into the 360 and PlayStation 3 era. Yeah, I mean, it's not anything new. So, I mean, that is what it is. And if you're turned off by what they put out there, I totally get that. But the same token, you have to also understand this is not a finished game, and you do have to stress test these big world games. Destiny 1 had issues when it launched, and people paid for it. That was the final game.
But the demo for Destiny was fine.
Kinda. I don't think it quite had the same user base as this one.
No, it had the same problems. It had, where it had server issues where
Was it there was
Yeah,
day one
it's
issues?
like server issues though. You got put into a queue, and then you got in.
What also
But
happened
that's what happens with
that's day
online
one.
only games
That's just-
anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
day
just day
of
one.
a not launched game.
Hold
You gotta
on.
keep it in
Guys,
perspective.
that would have been fine.
Guys,
This
before
game just utterly crashed and didn't say anything. It just
off
said,
the
yeah,
rails, people. Off the rails, yeah. Guys, before we get into what happened on the launch, K Mega, he still hasn't been able to actually talk about his experience with the game.
You know
and
what?
he liked.
This is what I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm not gonna play around when I say this. I didn't come on no damn podcast to just listen. So wait your goddamn turn, let everybody else talk, then you come and talk. Don't interrupt anybody else. This is getting out of hand now.
What are you talking about?
Please. No, I'm just saying, like, I mean,
I thought you were talking to me personally. I'm like,
no,
dude,
I'm talking to everybody. Like, damn, I mean, let everybody have a moment, then let's talk. I didn't come on this motherfucker to sit there and do that.
hold on. Did GRG all of a sudden become like formatted that way last night?
No,
it's
it's the most civilized podcast on YouTube. I don't know if you know that.
No, because I had to shut. I had to shut Lemon up, and I had to shut Bloody up because when they got started, they like, God damn!
I gotta go back and check that out. Yeah.
I said, shut the hell up. Anyway, all right. So,
but dude, what do you think about the demo so far?
all right. To me, I loved it. I mean, I like the alpha. I understand that these games are not going to be perfect at launch. How many of these games, even as much as I love The Witcher, the problem is that The Witcher at launch had problems, and a lot of people addressed them. And then, of course, with patches and things like that. And we're talking about a single player game, a game that didn't have any multiplayer. You're talking about games that's more online. Destiny had the problems. This game's had the problems. The only difference is that this is called a demo and not a beta. That's EA's fault. I don't know what the hell. That's just stupid. Thing of it is that if you played the game and you enjoyed it, then it should be good enough for you to purchase it. I get it that EA is kind of like in a shithole with a lot of people right now. So again, it's just anything that's going on wrong with EA, they're going to bash on it.
It's going to be magnified as well.
Yeah, it's going to just be magnified to the utmost power. But the fact of it is that look, if you say that you appreciate, you like the game.
Hold on 1 second, people.
Then don't get it. I personally, you know what I'm saying. This is just, me and Don and a couple other players was playing, and then like Young Chaos. He's out in Florida, and he kept having online issues. His shit was.
What the frig is going on? Is that just?
I had the problems yesterday again, but then once I started to play, I had no other issues. I popped in and out just like I got popped out, but I popped right back in. But just
it was one of three of us that was having.
It was one of three of us, right? So and I played like with other people. I played with PTK and all them. So I get it, you know what I'm saying, but I think that trying to magnify this just because this is supposed to be EA's big game and that EA is kind of looked like it's a shit company right now. I think people just need to relax and just look at the game. If you are on the fence of it, then just wait to purchase it. If it's one of those things where it's like, it's something that I was really hyped for, but it didn't gravitate me like Ottoman said, then damn, just go ahead and then just wait till Game Pass. I mean, not Game Pass, but EA Access. And it'll eventually go there in about a year and a half, or maybe by the end of the year, according to how it sells. So I take it for a grain of salt. I know that if the game is going to be choppy at first, the game is going to work like a charm, just like Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 got crushed. You remember that they got crushed. That beta that they had they just got destroyed. And
that was core gameplay mechanics that Titanfall 2 got destroyed on when it came to the multiplayer. Yeah.
No, there was some that, and plus, so there was some issues on the beta as well. There was people that was complaining about this. People complaining about that.
Yeah, to be honest, on Titanfall, I had a level that wouldn't load for 3 months. Every time you hit the map, it would crash.
Yeah, and so regardless of that,
look at that gameplay.
All these online games, when it comes to this, it's going to have these issues at first, and that's just it. So, I mean, that's my point on it, man.
I want to clarify something. When I said that I wasn't gonna pick it up right away, I mean like within like, I'll probably pick it up within when it's still 60.
Dude,
bucks,
you're not going
'cause-
to pick it up at all. You're going to play
nobody-
Kingdom
nobody's
Hearts
wrong.
3,
No,
and you're going to forget about any other
Tony.
game.
No,
Okay,
I'm just saying I wasn't trying to say that like I
no,
wasn't gonna pick it
I'm
up.
not trying
I'm
to
just waiting
ridicule
until
people
the,
that say that. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
ridicule anybody that says that. I'm just saying you're not. I was just making a point. Like if you're not into it, or if it didn't gravitate to you, then of course that game shouldn't be worth $60 to you.
I think Dark just got intimidated, man.
If Knox look at it from a situation, I get it, but I do agree with Don is that look, you can't contradict yourself like that. You will be exposed. The fact of it is that you cannot say Destiny didn't have issues, and then this game, well, this is just a demo. I'm going to ridicule this, but I didn't ridicule Destiny. That's bullshit. That
All right, now
fly.
check this out.
Who did that?
I'm just saying. You sit there and you was coming up on the point just talking about like you was trying to defend Destiny, and I'm like, bruh,
no.
come on now.
What I said was
don't talk public.
what I said was Destiny had its issues where yes, it took time to get into their demo. It didn't take 24 hours to get into their beta.
It did.
No, it didn't. I don't
It
know
did.
which beta y'all played because was that an Xbox issue? Because that didn't happen on PlayStation.
No. The point of it is that everybody had something different. Like just like I was just making a point about Chaos. He was having issues when there was 3 of us that was playing and we didn't have any issues. Or, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing of it. Like people's internet connections are different. And the one thing that I'm learning, the more that I game with so many people from around the world, is that bigger cities, the big metropolitans, they have seemed like they have the worst fucking internet than someplace out here.
Yeah, we do.
You see what I'm saying? I don't get that. Maybe it's because there's so much traffic going on out there, and maybe that they don't have, you know.
But remember, this wasn't an internet issue. This was a EA just wasn't prepared issue.
That is true.
And there's really no excuse for them not being prepared.
But all of them has been like that, Knox.
All of them
has been like that. Every last one of them. Yeah. The Fallout, Titanfall. I mean, how many times? Even Call of Duty, when they have they always come with that excuse of saying, and you could call it an excuse. I'm not saying that that's wrong or right. What I'm saying is that they always come and say, "Oh, we weren't expecting to get hit with the overload like that." Yeah, it happens.
You know, usually guys, if a game releases or something like that, I can understand the whole overload thing. But when it comes down to it, they knew how many codes were going out. They knew how many people were downloading the demo, getting ready for this. There's no reason why they should have been caught by surprise as how many people were trying to get into this demo when the demo went live. Let's be real now.
But it wasn't a server issue, though.
You realize the amount of codes doesn't dictate everyone's going to log in at the same time, right?
But you must expect you prepare.
That's what you expect, though.
Yeah, you got to prepare for that.
You got to plan for the worst and hope for the best, man. Is what you got to do.
They do that, and here's the thing: every time you have any online game that you get to play before release, the game's not finalized. They're stress testing it. I'm giving you an insight. This is what happens with every single game. So the question is, how much of this are you guys willing to accept, and how much are you not? Because here's the harsh reality: it's going to happen again on your favorite games. So
happen on the Division next week.
It's going to happen on the Division, and it has nothing to do with those individuals' talents or how hard they worked or anything like that, or that they're trying to pull shade over somebody. Like they're not trying to pull a fast one on anyone. These are just kind of the harsh realities of these open world games, and they're huge projects. And sometimes, that's the reason why they did it open to everybody. I mean, I was able to give out codes for free and stuff like that, and people didn't.
And you know who the Don never went to with a code, right? And I'm just saying.
Well, I knew you were just going to complain about the game and then jump on Destiny.
Oh shit,
dude! I haven't played Destiny in like a month and a half. You can ask Knox. Have I played Destiny, Knox?
No, you have not.
Exactly. So where has the Don been? probably, inhaling that seawater and Sea of Thieves. Don't know what's going on, man.
You're the one that vapes between the two of us. I don't know what you're talking about.
My thing is this, Don. My thing is this. Then you know what it is? We know that it's always going to have some sort of issue, right? Whenever they stress test these massively multi-online games. So you know what? Be transparent about it, right? And stop tying it into pre-orders. Stop trying to get people's money beforehand.
That's the way. That's the way of it is, though, Knox. That's with everybody now.
Then that's
hold on, Knox. I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm just saying, you know who's at fault for that, Knox? Us.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's what I'm saying. But people are always gonna get upset whenever they are tied to something like that. Had they just made an open, and granted, I'll give them that. They announced that it's gonna be open next week. You didn't really have to go and get this VIP one. You know what I mean? You could have just waited. That's true. That's absolutely true. I didn't have to do that. But like I said, BioWare is one of my favorite developers. They made one of my favorite games series. I am excited for the game. I want to like the game. And there's a lot of stuff about it that I really enjoyed when I finally got in. The thing is, when you got a company that's represented itself so badly in their publisher like EA, and then this happens, people tend to get jaded. It's like, how many times you're going to get smacked before you smack back?
Yo,
okay,
Knox,
bro.
Knox. Hold on. No. One second, guys. I just want to address somebody in the chat. Somebody is taking their time to check us out live. Tim Brewster says it wasn't even a server problem. It's an issue with the game. They said that they probably won't fix the loading screen bug because it could affect more players. Now, Tim, that bug, all right, so that might be in there. But at the beginning, they even said that they didn't have enough servers when it went live. And that was a problem right off the bat. So it might not be the problem now, but when the game first launched, when the demo first launched, that was the main issue, is that they didn't have enough servers for all the people trying to get into play. And that's why
you couldn't even get in 5 minutes in. It literally told you it's at capacity. And I saw that they removed that quickly. It doesn't say that shit anymore.
There was a server related thing, and people are mixing the messages up and stuff like that. But no, that was part of it as well. I mean, and here's the thing: is that they hit a load they were not expecting. And
I don't understand how that could happen, though.
But
they do it all the time, though. But
let me finish. You'll notice some platforms took longer to get up than others because they got hit harder than others.
Okay, don't they have the numbers of how many codes they put out per platform?
Yes, but they don't know how that's going to scale correctly.
They should have it covered.
This is the reason why. Like, here's the thing: you need to understand this if you want to have the stats of we're all going to go to streaming, because these are the things that affect all this sort of stuff. So, I mean, here's the deal: it's hard to predict how those things are going to scale. It really is. It's incredibly difficult. And as I said, they've been trying to figure this stuff out for 13, 14 years, and they still get it wrong.
So you prep for the maximum number, and anything less than that, you can.
So, and what was the downtime? It was a day for most people.
Yeah,
1 day.
You're acceptable at 1 day? Oh, 1 day, no problem.
That is way better than what we've been dealing with this generation.
With what? With what? Give me examples of what.
Destiny.
What has been down?
1 and 2.
Destiny's not down for 24 hours, bro.
It has. When I played the first, when I played the second one, it was down for at least 48 hours for me. I'm just telling you.
And here's the thing: it's how many times was it raids broken or that other stuff broken?
Oh,
I mean,
God, yes.
I'm not trying to pick on the game, but I'm facing the harsh reality.
But at least you were able to play a different part of the game. It was a full game. How many demos were down for over 24 hours?
So here's what I'm hearing: another double standard.
That's what I'm hearing from you.
No, because like I said earlier, Don, getting stuck in the environment and my boys having to get out and come back in, that to me, that was acceptable. I know glitches like that are gonna happen. You can't catch every bug.
He was laughing about it.
I was. I get that.
I'm gonna understand though. Like, okay, this is as
I'm not complaining about that, Mega.
No.
What I was complaining about was them not being prepared.
Let Mega talk, man.
This is what I don't understand about gamers right now, especially now, is that everything is we have more access to talk to developers in all different ways. than we've ever had in our history in gaming. And instead of just pinpointing the points to the issues to get that squared away, we rather go and shit on a product, even though, and then like we say crazy shit like, I wish I could, I really want to like this game. No, you don't. If you say that shit like that, only thing that means to me is that you really want to shit on the game more than you want to like it.
I don't think anybody is shitting on the game on this panel.
Look, no, I'm saying this from the sense I really want to like it, but there should be none of that. You like the game or you don't.
Nah, bro. Everything ain't black and white like that.
But
you can't make a statement like that, nigga.
You
can't. That's you. That's you. You can't tell me how I feel, brother.
But this is the thing that really trips me out about this whole situation is that no, I'm not wilding about this. I'm being real about it. I'm being real.
Bro. First, you can't put words in my mouth and you can't put emotions on my sleeve, brother. If I'm telling you,
you put your emotions down on your sleeve all the goddamn time.
You know what? Yeah, I do.
Brakes on that one. I do. Pump your brakes on that one. Come on now.
You can't tell me I just want to hate on it. Like I just want to be toxic.
I said in general.
Yeah, but I'm the one that made the comment, bro.
You did make the comment, but a lot of gamers make that comment. I was saying in general.
But then you're putting me in that category. Don't do that.
If the shoe was on the foot, then that's cool. But I'm saying that just in the one point.
Don't do that, bro.
I want to practice what I preach because I know Pred's got shit to say. I know that.
Is Pred here?
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm here. I'm just listening, man.
Yo, Pred, this is a heated discussion. Now, Predator, before you share your opinions on this, I just want to iterate the fact that I wasn't saying anything bad about the game. I'm pointing more that, people were upset and people were pissed off, and I feel like they had a right to be pissed off. That is my stance on the whole thing. It's not whether or not the game sucks or anything like that. I'm still interested in the game. I want to play the demo. These people out here that are like, well, you guys should just calm down and all this stuff. They have a right to be upset if they, they got hyped to get into a VIP kind of like demo and everything like that. They go to start it up and it doesn't work at first. All right, give it some time. A day later and past that is when they get in. I think they have a right to be upset. But go ahead, Predator.
I agree with you in that aspect. Like a lot of people basically pre-ordered this game just to get into the VIP demo, right? A lot of people do that shit all the time. They order it on Amazon, they get the code, they cancel the fucking pre-order. It's fine. I get it. But I think they should have known to some degree, and it isn't just EA. This happens with everybody. They do this and the servers crash the first day. Like it happened with The Division. It happened with fucking Sea of Thieves, right? Like, people are wanting to play this game. You have an idea of how many people have pre-ordered. You have a rough figure. Like, have that shit ready. It's like they only prepare for 50% of the people to play the game when they think it's bullshit. Like the first thing they should fix is a server issue. Like that, especially for an online game. Like that should be like your bread and butter right there. After the game is made, the first thing you should be focusing on is making sure that people can actually get into the game, whether it's a beta, an alpha, or whatever. I know they stress test the fuck out of this shit, but like, start big and scale back. Don't start small and scale up. That's just me. That's how I was
saying the same thing, Pred.
This is one of the most hyped games of the year, and you come out with a beta or demo, whatever it is, and everybody.
It's called the demo. Let's call it what it is.
It is.
It's called a demo. All right.
But it's not ready. So I understand that. Like, and I think Knox was talking about this when we were playing earlier. It's like, what are they going to do for those people? Are they going to extend this out? And let me back up a second. Like, keep in mind, this is another soapbox topic here too. But like, this is another example of a game that's been marketed by Microsoft that has a shitty launch because of some error, right? Because this was working for PlayStation. They fixed the PC and I've been on PC the whole time. I've been playing on PC the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. That was fixed. There were issues in the beginning, but that was fixed. PlayStation was fixed. Xbox, people still can't get in. Like, Bob, you can't get in.
It's on volume.
What's that? Yeah, because there's probably more people on the Xbox side, right?
That's what's going on. So
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead.
No. That's fine. I mean, I'm just trying to bring understanding to everything, and
but like the fact that seems like every game that's marketed by Xbox seems to have an issue with something like this, and like not saying it's an Xbox problem, it just adds a little bit more, salt to the wound. Oh, you guys can't play. We're playing the game. I mean, like I hear that shit. So like, I think the people who are upset have a right to be upset. They got this game. They pre-ordered this game. They wanted to play the keep saying the beta. Jesus, the demo. That's why you got it. Demo. Yeah. You pre-order it for that aspect of it. Some people just got like a fucking month of EA Origins just to do the EA Access, whatever, just to do this, and the game isn't working. Now, kudos to them for busting their ass to get it to work in the short amount of time they did, because this is what these things are for. Like the alpha test we took, I didn't have any problems getting into it in the alpha when I played it. I had no problems whatsoever, but there's probably less people in there.
Way less volume.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the thing. Is like, I understand when you say you want to start big and go small, but you can't do that. You have to start small and then scale big when it comes to.
You got to tell us why, though. Why can't you think about the numbers of the actual number of the codes you put out for a platform and plan for that maximum number?
5%.
I've told you 4 times, but you won't.
Well, there are so many people. Well, tell me one more time.
You don't know how many people are going to log on at the same time.
But why can't you plan for the most? Make sure you have enough server capacity for all those codes to be entered.
Because you don't know what issues you're going to run. Other issues you run into in networking once you scale that big.
Any other issues that you run into?
Listen here.
Be fixed, man.
You can't have millions of play testers. That doesn't work. You can't afford that.
I'm asking why.
You can't make it. You can't. Can you afford 1 million play testers?
No. When you have the number,
I'm giving you an answer.
But we're veering off here. When you have the number of the codes that you're putting out, know the total number of codes you are putting out per platform. Mm-hmm. Why can't you plan for the maximum number, every single one of those codes going live, and then cut back to what is actually happening?
Yeah, I'm sure they do that, but there's still things that come up.
There was no way in hell that they did that if they had to spin up more servers, man.
So do you think they just have a building of servers, just not do anything? Or do you think they build servers overnight?
They had to spin up.
I'm giving you some logic,
servers and everything like that. Like you would have all that ready to go.
I'm giving you actual logic. You don't know how these things scale until you put it in that position.
Why not do a closed beta? Why not do a closed beta where okay, well then you get that number.
But you can't. Here's the thing: things do weird things as you scale up when it comes to servers. Just what it boils down to. And I don't do a lot of networking, but I know that's the basics of all this. I mean, hell, there's websites that predict all their traffic on Black Friday and they shut down because the servers are full. They try to predict everything.
Yeah, but they don't have an absolute number of codes given to people to visit their website, and it's still crashed. You see what I'm saying? They would know the max number of people hitting their server.
Fight, and I'm trying to give you information.
I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from, and you're speaking very vague. You're like, oh, no, they just can't do that. And I'm asking, why can't they do that? Why can't they look at the most number of people and then scale back to how many people are actually on, instead of being like, oh shit, there's so many people on, we got to spin up more servers. Oh my goodness, it's a disaster. Look what's going on. Everybody, hit the alarm. Like, instead of doing it that way, you go the opposite. Why can't they do that?
You don't think they do? I mean, we've been
they
dealing with it
obviously didn't do it this time.
But if someone has figured it out by now, we wouldn't have these problems. But we still have these problems with every single game. And that's the part I keep trying to bring out. So we have to learn to accept the fact, a couple different things. Either you're not going to buy something at launch because it's going to have issues when it's a multiplayer online game, or you're going to have to live with the rough spot during the beginning. One of the two.
See, Don,
Let me end this conversation and we'll move on to the next topic. All right. If we have these problems at full launch, will we address this shit?
Yeah,
now they know. Because now they know.
Exactly.
Right. And I wanted to go on that, is just to say, this happens, like I said before, this happens on all these games. Dragon Ball Z Fighters, shit was trash. Jump Force. Nobody didn't get to play online that I know of. Tekken 7, shit was ass. Even Mortal Kombat, when they did a beta, that shit was fucked up as well.
I had issues with Halo 5.
Call of Duty had this problem too when they launched their shit.
Yeah, they all have this. The only thing that I do agree with, for the most part, for what everybody's saying, is that look, it shouldn't have been called a demo. It should have been called a beta, because when you think of demo, you think of what you got with
finished product.
Devil May Cry 5.
Finished
because
product.
that shit, and you know what I'm saying, and then also people got to realize that when you look at something that's a single player game, that's pretty much a single, a finished product, compared to something when you're going online that's always constant. I just, Fred was right on the last point of it. I just wanted to just allude that point as well.
Nice.
I'm just like, are you guys going to be upset at every online multiplayer game?
Yes, they are.
Because like that sucks to live in that way. I mean, as far as that
I think
goes.
for some people, this is like they can see.
I guess everybody from here on out,
it.
whenever you get into a demo or beta, just plan on. Don't even try playing it the first day. Just go in the second day, okay? That's because that's what we got to accept.
That's not bad
now.
advice. No, that really isn't bad advice. I mean, what is it? State of Decay had a bunch of problems.
So you lose a day on a timed demo as well. So that would be great.
Yeah, well,
great.
then maybe you shouldn't buy it for the demo then. And like, here's the thing: it's like there are consequences to their actions. I don't think they should be exempt. But at the same token, we have to keep things in perspective, and we have to judge things equally. And we can't just turn a blind eye when other people have had the similar issues. We can't hold a double standard as far as all this sort of stuff goes.
Why
and that's what I keep hearing.
Why don't we hold a unified standard and say that this shouldn't happen? Mega made a point.
So you're not going to play games, though?
Huh?
You're not going to play any games.
What would make you say that?
Because every multiplayer game has had issues that I can think of this generation on day one of launch.
Maybe it's because we're accepting it that when they're putting this stuff out there, they're like, if it works, it works. If not, we'll just tack on a day. Whatever.
I don't think that's really it. I think that some of them purposefully
tensions like that. It's like that's inappropriate, man.
Yeah, because they want to make money. The thing of it is, I think is that some of them really actually try to push the limits to see up to a limited group of servers to see, their whole stress test thing to see what it would react to. And then, so they would have, like, Battlefield 5, shit was horrible. The beta was not very good at all. But of course, you know what I'm saying, when I played it at E3, it played better at E3 than it did when they had the beta.
Now check this out, Mega. You keep talking about a beta, and we're talking about a demo. Those are two different things.
It's still an online. It's still an online only game that still has the issues, and you can name a whole bunch of them.
If they had labeled this a beta for server testing and stuff like that, I have no problem agreeing with you guys. All right?
So why are you holding a demo to a different standard?
Because it'd be like,
why
are you holding the prefix Mr.? Why are you holding that accountable? That's got to be a guy.
He's answering back with not even knowing what I was going to say. What I was saying is you're holding finished games to a different standard than a demo.
What?
You're holding finished games to a different standard than a demo.
What?
Finished games have had issues and rough starts just as much as a demo, and a demo is actually not a finished game, just to clarify. It's not finished code.
Well, people are talking about testing this and testing that. If you're testing, then it's either an alpha or a beta. It's not a demo. A demo is not used for testing, sir.
You realize when a game is online, it is always being tested.
Well, then they should never call it a demo.
Okay, I guess
there you go.
All multiplayer games are they're all betas now. From now on, is that what you're gonna say?
Official full game releases, right? You're gonna try to roll it all up into one piece of sushi when there are so many different kinds of sushi out there. But all right, I got you, brother. I got you, brother.
You know how to relate to that.
Oh my God, this should have been the last topic of this.
Goddamn, we must stop for fucking an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was hot shit right here.
I don't know what's going on.
Yo, check this out. Predator, I'm gonna put you out there, man. You put in Major Nelson's podcast, and I guess they had Phil Spencer on there. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but as we were talking offline, you were sharing some interesting information. So why don't you let people know like what you saw that was interesting? I think it was it his latest podcast, or was it one that was a little further back?
I think it's his latest one is
I
on
think so
SoundCloud.
too.
I never listened to him normally before. I just kind of saw it in a chat and on Twitter, and I listened to it. I was like, interesting, especially because of who we had on. Other than that, I don't really give two shits about Major Nelson. But I think there was a couple of things that he brought out. I'm trying to find what I sent you guys earlier. The first one was kind of like that kind of caught my eye was they were talking about E3 and how like he was saying like, you know, this is really like the first time in a while that they've been able to, you know, have a lot to show. Like he basically said, we have a lot of shit to show, you know. And I bookmarked it like the time slots on there for in the chat, in our personal chat on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing that stood out in that whole interview was like how he was saying like E3, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to show this year at E3, and how he was saying like last E3 they did things a little differently. They got a new venue and stuff like that, and it worked out for them because in the past it kind of seemed like they was doing the same old thing over and over, and they wanted to try something different. And how they seemed to get a little bit of backlash within the organization about it. The second part was how he was talking about the X Cloud and how he's been playing it already. And so his vision for the X Cloud and just the Xbox in general.
Yo, Pred, you actually cut out like when you said about his before his vision for the X Cloud. Can you just repeat the whole X Cloud thing? Because that I think that's really interesting in what you were showing in the DM as well. Man, my bad.
No worries. He was just talking about the X Cloud, how he's been playing it already, like he was in Hawaii or something like that, and he'd been using the X Cloud, and how like he's using it through Xbox, like he's still logged into Xbox playing games through the X Cloud, and how it all ties into the whole ecosystem. Like he doesn't, you know, we've said this before, like, you know, they don't really look at just the Xbox itself as the physical part of it. It's just, you know, that's the only thing that's part of the family. Like if you're signed into the X Cloud through your iPhone or your iPad or something like that, you're part of the Xbox community. So, and he sold that to Satya Nadella, and that's something that they're working forward to in the future. So, and the last part of that was like he doesn't see this like taking over consoles. It's like 4 to 5 to 8 years out, but like it's something they're focused on because now. And he was talking about this at E3, like they can discuss their vision now, you know, because this last couple of years have just been trying to get everything back on track and trying to sell, you know, Satya on the Xbox division, and they've done that. Now they're able to come out with the games and talk about the future. And I think this E3, he kind of said this in the thing too, like they're going to come out with their game plan for the Xbox division at E3 this year.
Oh wow! Now, Pred, I got to ask you, when it came to the X Cloud and you know, Phil saying how that's not taking over kind of like console hardware or anything. You said it's not at least like 4 to 5 years out. Now, do you think that's 4 to 5 years for the actual xCloud streaming service to kind of to come out, or do you think like that it's gonna kind of he thinks it's gonna catch more traction like 4 to 5 years down the line?
I think the second part you said was more true. Like I think it's going to catch more traction because they've already kind of hinted at what they're doing with this next little generation coming forward. I think, you know, they're going to come out with their streaming box and stuff like that. And once, you know, we have better internet, especially here in the States and stuff like that, the X Cloud thing will be a thing. It'll be something that, you know, like you were saying in the chat earlier, the millennials of our generation will be looking into in the next generation, like having it anywhere. Being able to get on your Xbox Live account pretty much anywhere you go. That is what he meant. Not necessarily like, oh, well, we're coming out with it in 4 years. I think they'll come out with the xCloud here soon, like the next year or two.
Well, if he's playing it, then there is
then they're ready, yeah.
There's a playable build anyway. At least you know the higher ups in Xbox, they usually get their hands on the stuff first, and then it kind of trickles down. They do have different companies that will test out certain. You know, either online multiplayer. I'm pretty sure they hired a company to get people to test out, you know, xCloud, possibly on different devices, possibly on people's Xboxes. But you know that's going on right now. So it's cool that, you know, we know it's playable. My whole thing here, and I'm gonna go to K Mega on this. Now, the first part that they said with E3, that, you know, Phil's like, you know, we spent the last few E3s kind of, you know, trying to catch up and trying to like switch our image up from what it was, you know, throughout most of this generation, and now they're actually able to talk about their plans for the future, what they see, their goals, and everything moving forward. Yo, Mega, I know we've said this a couple times throughout the last like few years, like, you know, wait until E3. Um, Dude, is this that wait till E3 moment that people have been talking about for the last couple years? Do you think that this is gonna be that epic moment on Xbox's stage this year at E3?
I thought last year was a epic, but of course that was my first E3 being there. So
yeah, you were
so
there, man. That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's what. So it was epic for me last year. But yeah, I think, of course, you know, I know that there's fanboys out there that'll say that, you know, here they go with the E3. But this, from what that interview was, what he came out to, like they acknowledged that this is their time to really get everything out there. And to start giving a direction to where a lot of gamers, especially Xbox fans, haven't really seen from them yet. Really, they've seen from, you know, basically where they're going with their hardware, but the direction themselves is something that plagued them in 2013. Because if they gave a better insight about what the direction of what Xbox was going to be, then I don't think that they would have been in the situation that they've been in. But this is just they're learning from the past, and they're making sure that they're crossing their T's and they're dotting their I's. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I actually agree. I think that they're ready to bring it. They're ready to bring it. They're ready to show. There was one point on here, I don't know if we'll talk about that a little bit later, but where they were talking about the studios and things like that, and that he wants to have the first party positions to where there is no lag. There's no lag space for Xbox exclusives. I thought that was great.
Oh, so well, yo, you could bring it up when it comes to that. So he was talking about the first party, like the acquired studios, the studios that are already under the umbrella as well, and basically saying that from a year-to-year basis, like there's going to be at least a studio coming out with another exclusive like every year. Is that what they were saying?
That's what it kind of sounds like. Like they'll have a steady rotation, and
they were hinting at it in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Instead of being in where there's this so-called drought, that there'll be some content that'll come to where it seems like that there'll be that quality Xbox exclusive that people are looking for. So it's and that, to me, that went a long way with just my thoughts about what are they going to do with games that, you know, like sequels that should have came from this generation on. So hopefully that means that they're working on those games as well to come on top of everything else that they're going to be working on in the future.
Nice. Now, dude, I gotta say, like, anytime that they're bringing out hardware, and I feel like they're gonna show, you know, the next series of hardware with Xbox, I feel like those are the years that you want to go to E3. But I also feel that if you're an Xbox fan, after hearing what Phil said, in terms of, all right, we finally caught up, we did what we had to do in terms of getting kind of like this generation behind us with the negativity, and now we are going in and showing the future of the platform and really showing where we want to go with stuff. I have a feeling that this is going to be the E3. If you're an Xbox fan, if that's the platform you play on, you want to be there this year, I feel. Dude, I'm really excited. Yo, Knox, what do you think about all this, man? Do you think that, you know, because I know you've heard it before, you know, people are always like, wait till E3, and they have had, you know, Xbox has had some quality shows the last couple of years, you know, on their stage, but it just wasn't. There was either something, you know, they didn't show enough AAA first party games or something like that, even though I thought they had quality shows. But do you think that this is going to be that year that a lot of people were talking about, wait till E3? Does it sound like this is going to be that E3, man?
I mean, I don't know. I hope so. You know, I mean, all I could say is I just take the approach of, hey, when it gets there, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna enjoy it. They've put on a good show, like you said, all these past couple of years. So I don't expect anything, out of the ordinary. It's, if they blow me away with something, then that'll be awesome. You know what I mean? But they've been good regardless, in my opinion. So
nice. I agree with you on that. I feel like they have been good, but people will nitpick. Oh, they didn't show enough of this, or they didn't show enough of that. If they go in with all first-party big AAA games, they'll be like, well, where are the indies at? We missed that sizzle reel. What's going on? Like, there's always something that people will complain about. Yo, Brian Baker in the chat was like, but Phil likes those Tinky Winky games, though. So
Tinky Winky.
Yo, shout out to Delirium Blades.
But we play those Tinky Winky games. We play Sea of Thieves, Delirium. So
man, and he was talking about what were the other games? The black and white game, that arcade game that was on the 360 that we got also on the X. Man, I can't believe I forgot the name of that game now.
You got games like Inside.
Inside was the newer one with the red shirt instead of the black and white, right?
Oh, yeah.
Limbo.
Yeah.
Limbo. There we go.
Yeah. Inside was dope. Limbo was I didn't feel Limbo, but I really did like Inside. I thought Inside had a really jacked up ending. I could stand that ending.
Yeah. All right. Well, another thing, Knox, you heard that, Phil out there in Hawaii, people, because everybody can travel to Hawaii, but he was playing games streaming on xCloud. So what do you think about him with the playable build of xCloud? Do you think this is going to be ready for when the new hardware drops?
It better be. I mean, right, that this is their whole approach, right? This is what they want to do. They want to stream. They're making different variants of their consoles, right? One which is going to heavily feature streaming, so it better be ready. We'll see. I don't know too much about it. I didn't get to read any articles.
Me neither, man.
But
why am I posting stuff in the chat if y'all ain't gonna read this shit?
I was at work, man.
I listened to it.
I was at work and I deal with customers.
Yeah, usually I check all that stuff out. But today I had to literally go to sleep to get up and do the show.
No, you were playing.
Oh yeah, well I had to play.
He was falling down an endless hole. Don't worry about it, guys. Yo, Don, what do you think about this, man?
Exactly what Knox going through.
Yo, Don, I know we get excited for E3s. I feel like the last few E3s, at least on the Xbox side, they haven't disappointed me. I know, out there on social media, people had certain things to say, lack of this or lack of that, but to me, Xbox, they just kept showing games on their stages, and I thought the last few that they had was really cool. But do you think that this one, new hardware and finally, getting out of the past negativity of this generation when it came to Xbox, and they're gonna actually go forward and show everything that they have to offer and where they kind of see their platform going? Dude, is this that E3 2019, man?
Well, I hope they cover their bases. This is something that Microsoft has honestly had a hard time with, is when they introduce something and then what happens is the doom and gloom comes out about one particular thing or not. So I have a feeling the reason why they're talking a little bit more about the streaming right now, because they're ready to talk about the hardware. So they can maintain all the customers that they need to for the platform and keep it rolling like nothing happened. But if you just show one thing and give that one thing the limelight, what happens is people have some have a positive and some have a incredibly, it's called a polarizing reaction to things, right? And I think this is, Microsoft's chance to show all of that sort of stuff. And I think maybe some stuff was ready to show earlier, but they just decided to hold back for a reason. And I think that's what they're kind of hinting at and what they're talking about here. But I don't know if they're going to be showing both pieces of hardware that they're planning on doing in the streaming thing, or just one piece of hardware in the streaming thing. I'm pretty sure they're just going to talk about both of it, and then I don't know how they're going to roll out the streaming thing, because they're probably going to run into the same problems we were just talking about not too long ago.
Well, when they unveil hardware, I think I can speak for the majority of the community. we want to see the Anaconda. We want to see the more powerful kind of like
I do.
version.
I do, and I feel honestly you can release all that stuff at the same time because no one's restricted. You don't have to buy the Anaconda, right? No one has to buy that particular piece of hardware. So those who want to spend the money early and be early adopters, they can do that sort of thing. But I don't know if that's exactly what they're going to do or not. That one I'm still kind of questioning, to be honest with you.
And I like Don how you're talking about, you don't necessarily have to buy the most powerful. I'm still in the boat of you don't necessarily have to buy a new system, period, because I feel like Xbox will still do forwards compatibility. I've been on a few shows lately, Xbox Nation, Crossfire, where people are starting to kind of doubt that they would go forwards compatible. I want to ask you, Don, because I think you were in the same boat with me in terms of, ending kind of like that generational thing, going forwards compatible, letting people buy the new games even if they have like the Xbox One X and the S. You talk about the power in the systems now. Do you think that they'll still do forwards compatibility as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's all a guess, but I think they're going to. Here's the reason why. I don't know of any games that are honestly going to be held back by the older piece of hardware. The way games are been produced for a long time now. And game engines are going the opposite direction. The newest iterations of game engines are covering a wider spectrum of performance profiles, not less. Use the engine. Let's talk about the engine I use, Unreal.
That is an awesome engine too, man.
Yeah, it's a very powerful, very capable engine, but guess what? It's on a lot of damn cell phones.
That is true.
And it's
Holy
not
crap.
and it's not streaming the stuff. It's just running on the local, on some of that stuff, depending on the game, runs on the local hardware. So, it makes you realize you're like, engine are going, and then you won't have the same features, of course, as something that has more power or more hardware under the hood, but but you still are able to play the base core game. I mean, for those that got a chance to play Anthem, if you look at all the
rub
particle,
it in, aren't you, man? You just
but if you look at all the particle effects in that game, you can cut like literally 2/3 of it out of the game, and so much resources you just freed up just from that alone.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you can't, scale that down even further, right?
They should scale that down.
Yeah. So it just depends on what the developers want to do. I mean, I think developers that have that kind of perspective to say, hey, the lesser powerful hardware is holding me back. They're just not willing to put in the work to scale their game or build their game properly so it can scale.
Yeah.
And that's a bummer. And I think everyone misses out when that's actually the case. In regards to that, and we're in this weird kind of spot where we need a lot more power to get a lot of that visual difference. What I say that matters the most, not like what Digital Foundry talks about, but
who's that?
Like when a customer walks by a television and goes, kind of has a Knox reaction. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like that's the type of thing you want out of hardware, and that's going to take a lot more power to accomplish that. But all that power is scalable, and that's the thing that's interesting. And in these base consoles that we have, talking about the fat, are way more capable than people realize. Way more capable.
Damn, even he went back to the fat. I got you, brother. Yo, huge shout out to Taser Delight, who has been hanging out with us in the chat. Now, Taser said Sony has already shown you what they have left. Microsoft is going to show next-gen stuff, the same thing that you guys crucified Sony over because you thought that's all they would have shown. Now, Taser, if you have been following this channel and this show, even between me and the Don, I have always said that Xbox, they need to tease the future when it comes to E3. Now, Don doesn't necessarily agree with me.
No, we don't agree on that.
But
yeah, it is.
But,
it is what it is.
But I have gone on record stating that they need to reach out further in time and tease that there is there's more to this platform besides 12 to 18 months out. I've always said that. Yeah. But anyway, Dark, what do you think about Phil coming out talking about E3? Is this just another hyping up from Phil, or do you feel like this is actually going to be something like incredibly special this year, where they finally shook off that negativity, they're looking towards the future, and they want to show everybody exactly where this platform is going now?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of seems like, from what you guys have been saying, it seems like it's going to be a good E3. We're going to have a good, you know, time there, and everybody's going to be excited, because it's always exciting, at E3. I just don't know if if they're really going to show off anything that you guys have already seen already. I don't know if you guys are, if we're going to see something new or not. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
All right,
it's just,
but you can't guesstimate that they're going to show hardware.
I could predict it.
Okay.
I could predict that, maybe they will show some. I don't know if they're going to show any hardware. I don't know. Maybe they'll show the next, Slim or whatever, the one without the disc.
You got me scratching my head right now. You really, with Sony not being there, and them basically having that traditional console stage to themselves, they're not going to unveil like the next Xbox, Anaconda.
Well, I wish you would let me finish so that I can actually tell you how I feel.
He does that, right?
Yeah, he does that. He does that. I mean, it's not. It's fine. It's what you do. It's cool. But it's not.
It's cool, but it's not.
He said it's cool, but it's not.
It's just like, I don't think they're gonna show off the next iteration of consoles. I don't think they're gonna. I think they still have time yet. I think they have plenty of time. I don't think they need to rush it. I don't think, because the X just practically came out. I mean, yeah, it'll be out for 2 years at that point, but I don't think they need to rush it. I really feel like they really need to take their time with this. They don't really need to make. They need to make a big spectacle of it. I don't think they really need to show that kind of thing at E3. I think what they need to do is really show off games at E3, and that's what people have been wanting, and that's what they've been doing last year. That's what they did last year. I feel like that's what they're going to do this year.
Dark, let me throw you a curveball.
What
if the next hardware releases before the holiday in 2020?
I mean, before,
that's fine. That's cool.
Like way before holiday.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Like the S.
I think he said
Switch?
First quarter.
That's cool. I mean, that'll give, I think, a lot of people.
So does your opinion change on them showing hardware?
I mean, at that point, yeah, it would. I mean, it would. I would guess that they would probably show hardware at that point, unless they did like in November, like they did last year with the Xbox, the XO event. Maybe they'll show it then, but I mean, the earlier they show it, the better it is usually.
Yeah. So and just to be clear, so I don't actually know if they're doing that or not. I know a lot of people think that's the case in the circles that I'm at, but that's them speculating. So I don't know where that speculation is coming from, because even the third party, they don't know when that stuff's going to be released as of right now.
Right.
So, but it's interesting that keeps coming up from multiple sources that don't talk to one another. So
yeah, I just don't think that they're going to show off. I think they'll show off a few new games, but I think there'll be a lot of stuff that we've kind of heard about and we know about already. I don't think they're going to really, kind of. Because I mean, right now they're kind right, exactly. It's gonna be like every other E3 where they just acquired these studios. I don't think they have anything ready yet from these studios. I mean, maybe some of them they might have something here and there ready, but I don't think they have.
Ninja Theory, by the way, I think they might have something that's
actually no. If you listen to that SoundCloud thing, they discussed that in there. I'll let y'all listen.
They said something along the. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pred, but they said something along the lines of Major Nelson was really excited to try to make it out there to play whatever they're working on. Yeah. And then they quickly switched to the sound of a Ninja, the last game they were just worked on.
Yeah, and Phil said that he was almost done playing one of their games.
Yeah, that was releasing. That was talking about Hellblade. He hasn't finished Hellblade yet.
Oh, okay, but yeah.
And the only company I could think of that would probably actually show something off would probably be In Exile, somewhere around there. Probably something, it'll probably be Wasteland 3 or something like that. But it'll be something that they'll show off. I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. A lot of things are up in the air right now for what's going to happen for E3 because I mean
But
that's the Gamer
but
Super
Phil's
Bowl. But
excited, man. Come on, there's got to be something on that
I mean,
stage.
I'm excited. I'm always excited. I mean,
I
there's
said
always going to be something
Phil.
there.
Mr.
Oh yeah,
Spencer
well
is
yeah,
excited. So
yeah. But he's always excited. Like
that is
he
true.
he always
He's
has
excited
to
for
be
Phantom Dust,
excited.
man. What are you talking about?
He's the
Lulu Vince.
he's the boss. He has to be excited. He has to get people hyped. If people aren't hyped, then they're not gonna want to go to E3. They're not gonna want to actually do that whole thing. And yeah, there will probably be people who won't go to E3 because of the reason that Sony's not there. I think there will be a lot of people who will skip E3 because of that, and it's mostly probably the hardcore PlayStation group. It won't be so much like people who are like me, where I play on everything and I don't care. It's just I think that it'll be probably a smaller event this year than it was last year. I think because there are things that will happen in that E3 that will excite us and surprise us and get us wanting to play the next iteration of whatever comes out.
All right, I got you, man. And with that, I think we're gonna move on to the next topic. And I thought this was really interesting because Kingdom Hearts 3 reviews started coming out. And you know me, guys. I don't sit there and go through all reviews and stuff like that. But one of my subscribers pointed out a weird fact here. When the first like 22 reviews that were coming out, 20 was PlayStation 4, and there was 2 on the Xbox One side. Now I know eventually they will all catch up and everything like that, because eventually reviewers will review the other platform that they didn't get into, and then everything builds up from there. But I thought it was funny because being out here in these podcasts, I was one of the people who thought that once the Xbox One X came out, it was the more powerful system. I thought that more review codes would go out, for Xbox One X, and you'll start seeing more reviews come out for the X first. People streaming the X version and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't think it's happened that way. Yo, Pred, did you see like on Metacritic? Dude, PlayStation 4 reviews, it was up into like the 20s, and I looked over at Xbox Ones, and they had 2 reviews in. What do you think has happened here? Do you think that like why was there a flood of PS4s when the One X is the more powerful like console? I figured that would be the one that people would want to do reviews for like first and get like the kind of like the best performance or whatnot, man.
Those reviewers don't care about the performance, man. They already have a PlayStation because they've had it for years, and like they don't, they just don't have an Xbox. Most of those guys. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm not a reviewer, so I don't know. I'm not in their household.
Well, these are people from websites and everything like that as well.
Yeah,
right?
but you know what? The people from fucking IGN don't have fucking 4K TVs, but they still try and tell us how to fucking what looks better on which console. But like most of those reviewers are probably PlayStation fans, and you notice if you look at the reviews, it's the same fucking game, but like the Xbox reviews are always lower. Multi-plat. So
I didn't look at the numbers for Kingdom Hearts 3, and like I thought the numbers in terms of how many reviews that were coming out, like, and kind of like the discrepancy between how many were on PS4, how many were on Xbox, when the X is the most powerful system. That kind of I stepped back on that. I kind of my
they don't care about the power part of it. Like they're just, like I said, they have become Sony fans for whatever reason. I mean, like, not saying it's a bad console or anything like that, but they've been Sony fans this whole generation. And if they can get their preference is to play on that console, I mean, like, I would love to see them review the game on both. But if you're not, they shouldn't be reviewing. Honestly, I don't think a reviewer should be reviewing the performance on the system. I think it should be reviewing the game and how the game plays. like the story, like the music, the art direction, that kind of stuff. Like if you get caught up in reviewing it on, oh, it looks better, like they're not fucking Digital Foundry. Like they're there to. It's like when you go to movie theater, right? Or you watch a movie, right? When the critic does the movie, he doesn't say, I watched it in this studio. He's just there to critique the movie, not the environment that he's sitting
Yeah,
in.
I know, right?
You know, so why buckle it down to just one console? Because guess what? It's the same story on each system, right?
Yeah.
It's the same gameplay mechanics on each system. You know, nothing's different except for the graphics. But I mean, that's like going to, you know, watching the same movie on a 4K TV and a 1080p TV and saying, "Oh, this movie sucked on the fucking 1080p because I couldn't see the water droplets on his nose." Like, it's the same movie. Like, so I don't agree with them, like saying, like, don't get caught up in the fact that like they only reviewed it on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you know, the game is still the same game.
Yeah.
It doesn't change because you switch consoles. Maybe you can see a little bit more particle effects or something like that, but it's still at the base the same game. So the reviewers, if they were being unbiased, they wouldn't review it. They wouldn't even tell you what they reviewed it on. They just say, this game plays nice. I played, you know, the whole game through. The story's good, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think they kind of have to, though. I think that's like a
and that's
box
because,
that they have
that's
to
because
check.
we put ourselves in that box right now. See what I'm saying? We've done that.
I agree
because
with
that's
you.
what sells. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and like we do this every year. You know, like a game will come out and it's a Xbox game and somebody reviews it who doesn't even play racers or doesn't play shooters, or for whatever reason they mark it down to a 40 when everyone else is giving it an 80 and above. You get that one or two dicktard that decides to give it a fucking low ass score for some stupid ass reason just for clicks. Just review, especially as multi-class. The game should be reviewed based off of the game, not what system you play it on. I'm off my soapbox now.
I definitely agree with you on that. And you know, back in the day when the industry was a lot simpler, you know, you had people just pretty much reviewing the game. I think it was when we got into whole kind of like maybe Super Nintendo Genesis where there started to become this divide. You know what I'm saying? But I really, when I thought about this, the first thing I thought about was my brother K Mega, because I believe me and Mega, we were on board with this when we were talking about before the X launched, and you know, with the more powerful system, you know what that means? More reviewers are going to use the Xbox One X. More streamers are going to use the Xbox One X. Hey Mega, were we wrong, man?
Sounds like it. I mean, overall,
what happened, dude? Like that, I thought that was a solid, common sense kind of like move. Like,
yeah, you would think so, but the fact of it is that look, even from the reviews, they've kind of given it good scores, but they kind of discredit it. Like, you know, well, it kind of like it was almost a discredit to like Xbox gamers because they know that the game has been on PlayStation. But that like they say in a couple of articles that I read that or reviews I read, that's like, well, you really won't know where the story is going unless you played the previous version. So it's really kind of it kind of defeats the purpose. And the game is this, the game is, and I'm like, wow, but you still gave it an 88. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, it's I don't care about that about reviews. I wanted to read on it just to see because it was a topic, but it's if it's not somebody that I trust or somebody that I watch on YouTube or from anywhere else, or just a person that might be interested in the same games that I am, I'm not even caring. I mean, I already got the game bought. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to play it. And so it is what it is, man.
I mean, I think they definitely missed an opportunity not bringing kind of like the you know, the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and all kind of like the different variations, or even like the last variation of each to kind of put everything together. I think they missed out an opportunity not putting that on Xbox to help people out in terms of the story. You know
yeah, no, I mean, I've been touting that, like it just wouldn't make sense because you do have to have you do have to have you at least, your first two or the remix, you know what I'm saying, to kind of make sense of what's going on. But they said, and when I read in articles, that people don't really need to go back. Like the developers said to themselves, you don't really have to go back and play the older games. The game will kind of be self-explanatory. But that's from one of the reviews that I read, was basically like that was just a waste of time, because if you played these games, then why would they have to redo it? Yeah, like it was just like, I mean, it was the average little nitpick, but it is what it is. I'm just excited for the game. I played the games on the PSP and on and on the PlayStation, so I'm happy that Xbox gamers got it. Hopefully that the game will do well enough to where maybe that might consider bringing the older games over into like a little like a package or something.
Okay, I got you. And Mr. Kima, I forgot what your original name is, man. I remember you from Facebook, by the way. But dude, I'm waiting for somebody on the panel to state that as well, because I also, with looking at this game, what you put in the chat, I can definitely see that being a factor. So, my brother Knoxximus, Knox, Kingdom Hearts 3 getting Metacritic scores in, reviewers doing reviews, and so I don't know how it is right now, but as of yesterday, when everything started happening, there was a lot of PS4 compared to Xbox One, and I know me and Mega, we thought once the X came out that number would, it would be a lot closer here. So what do you think's going on, man? Really?
Interesting.
Very interesting, right?
Is that Pred?
No, it's not me.
Is Knox here? I can't see the hangout.
No, he's not.
He's
he said be right back. I see that now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. He said be
All
right
right.
back.
So
did my phone start playing Queen while it was?
Yeah.
We heard it. Yeah, it was like,
dude, if I get caught for a copyright strike, you're paying me. So, no, I'm just playing. Yeah.
It wasn't long enough.
it was like 15 seconds.
I stepped out. I didn't. That's my fault. I did put I'll be right back, but I thought I muted the mic.
Yeah, I didn't see that, man. I got OBS up. The Hangout is like behind everything that I'm doing. So if you put that there, I didn't see it. But no.
God damn it.
Okay.
Oh, that was Ario Speedwagon.
Oh shit, that sounds more like Wham.
Oh wow, Christmas Wham.
Oh damn.
But no, Knox, I just thought it was interesting that even to this day with Xbox, having the X, the most powerful system, I thought more reviewers were gonna kind of switch to that system for the performance and everything like that, and streamers as well. And I gotta look into streamers. Maybe it's happened on that side of things. But when it comes
with Kingdom Hearts, right? Because that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? I'll just play devil's advocate for a minute. Doesn't the PS4 version have exclusive content for it, like an extra different level or something like that?
I think we have to ask Optimus about that, because I'm not sure, man.
I don't know. I don't think so. I thought that the game was. Who has the marketing rights to it? Because
Sony does.
There's no extra content for either console. It's just people.
That Jack Sparrow content is not exclusive.
No, it's not exclusive. No, that's in the whole game. There's no exclusive content on PlayStation 4 or Xbox. There's no. The only person who has marketing rights is PlayStation, and that's because it's.
They're also getting the older games, right? The older.
They already got the older games.
They already.
We're getting most of them. We're getting most of the older games, so
I don't really care for.
Oh
that
no,
series.
not Kingdom Hearts. That was Final Fantasy. My bad, dude.
Right.
Yeah. Final Fantasy. I don't really care about Kingdom Hearts too tough. I never liked the series. I never liked it. It was just me, but I don't expect them to start using Xboxes, even despite the fact that the X is more powerful and will represent the game better, right? Most of the time, but. These guys, they're somewhat, set in their ways, man. They're PlayStation dudes, and they're always gonna be play. So, I don't expect them to sit there. They're not being real about it. It's not like, oh, we're doing this for the sake of bringing you guys the best place we could review the game. It's not about that. It's just reviewed on Sony, reviewed on PlayStation 4. IGN does that shit all the time. I don't even know why that matters. Like Pred said, why do you have to specify if it's multi-plat? Why do you have to specify reviewed on PS4 reviewed on PC. Well, PC.
It turned in, and I think Pred said it right. We put ourselves in that box. The whole console war thing and stuff like that. It became a checkbox on the review sheet. It's exactly what it did.
They're the ones that created that, though. You know what I mean? They wanted that to happen, and that's why we do it. You know, like that's why people do it, because they create these fake wars, and then people feed into that nonsense.
And people start clicking. People hit those clicks. Click, 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 click. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, did it do well? Because that's a game I would have never checked the scores for.
I think high 80s, low 90s so far.
Yeah, 88 is the highest I've seen it.
Okay.
People,
I mean, that is a great game score right there. So
its fan base loves it, bro. So you know, hey, and if they're enjoying the game, that's awesome.
I will let you know, Snaps was completely hyped for that game, but she thought that maybe with number 3, they would kind of possibly instill some type of multiplayer co-op element to it. And when she found out it was single player, like she was like, like she thought that, you know, they were really gonna bring it up to this generation and possibly have some type of co-op going in there, you know, with the battles and everything. So I'm not sure if she's still as hyped as she was, but I know she does freaking love Kingdom Hearts though. So,
yeah, no, I couldn't see Kingdom Hearts being a multiplayer game. I mean, it's fully just slated as just a single player experience. It's more a story and getting you immersed into the worlds of Final Fantasy and the Disney whole thing. So.
Yo, Kima, that's what I thought too. Microsoft actually has the marketing rights for Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't know though. I didn't have any clue because when we seen it, they showed it on the Xbox stage. Remember? And so
they have marketing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
It just means they showed it on the stage. I mean, that can be multiple things. Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Well,
but no, I'm pretty sure it was Sony. I'll check, but
yeah,
I'll check right fast. We'll get to the bottom of it. I'll get to the bottom.
All right, no doubt. Does anybody else have any opinions on this? Because if not, we'll just move on. All right, what up, Dark?
You know, I'm hyped for Kingdom Hearts 3. You guys were saying, you know, that the reviews between Xbox and PlayStation. I think it's just you're just looking too much into it. You got to realize that like Sony has won this generation. Okay, that's a simple fact. That's the harsh point. That is, you're probably going to disagree with me. You're probably going to hate me for saying it, but that's the harsh truth. They have won. They have
disagreed with you on that one, though.
Right, but I mean, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who are in the chat. I'm talking about people who.
He's talking about me, man. He thinks I'm gonna disagree with him. Yeah.
Right, exactly, because Bot is too much of an Xbox.
Well, so that means that you think the Nintendo Wii won last generation, then, right?
No, I don't think that at all.
Why?
No.
What's the parameters of quote unquote winning then?
I think. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that we did win.
There you go. Say it again for me. Say the Wii won last gen. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they won because they had more consoles that sold, but it doesn't necessarily. Never mind. I'm not even gonna get into that with you. What I'm gonna say, is that like, of course, there's gonna be more reviews on PlayStation because of the fact that. You know, a lot more people play on PlayStation. Like you got to look at it. Most of the reviewers I look at on YouTube even play on PlayStation. They play more on PlayStation than they do on Xbox, and we got to face that fact right there. Is that we're kind of in a minority, not in a majority. So we have to, you know, kind of just accept that it is what it is. They're gonna review those games on PlayStation. I hear Don in the background going with his whole thing. I hear that. I'm sure you have something to say. So go ahead and say it.
No. Finish your thoughts. No. You don't get to come on very often. So
I just feel like it. You know, there's too much reading into it. I feel like either way, it's gonna be both. It's gonna be good on both consoles. You're not gonna have this situation where, you know, hate to bring it up again, but the Anthem situation where the game's not going to work on Xbox for a day, but it's going to work on PlayStation for a day. You're not going to have that. Don't worry about all that kind of stuff. Don't read it too much into it, people. Just enjoy the game. If you care about reviews, then you care about reviews. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't
go and play something.
I don't care about.
You know?
See, the reason why I brought this up is I want to show people something. All right. Now, me and Mega, we predicted that something would happen when the Xbox One X came out. And when I saw these numbers here, it kind of looks like, what we predicted was wrong. And I wanted to show people that we would actually talk about when we're wrong as much as when we're right. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, you're mostly wrong all the time. But
I'm not wrong about this whole streaming thing, but we won't get into that right now. I wasn't wrong about Game Pass.
I feel that it's just, of course people are not really gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna buy a $500 console. That console is more for, I feel, in my opinion, it's more for the hardcore gamers who want the best possible hardware that they can possibly buy. And yeah, some people may say, oh, you're stupid for buying it, or you're this or that, but it doesn't matter, because guess what? It's not your money, it's my money. I'm gonna spend my money the way I want to. If you don't like it, then fucking tough, dude.
Fucking
let
tough,
know,
man.
Let him know.
Yeah,
son.
You tell him.
Word is born. I'm getting an anaconda, son.
Yeah. Well, Don, did you have anything to chime in on this? If not, I will definitely go.
I wonder when we look at things like this, are these edge case scenarios that we constantly talk about, or is this the norm? Is it the norm that it's only primarily reviewed on one versus the other now, or is this just the one game in the last couple months?
That's a great question, actually. I haven't looked too deep into it.
No, there's been more games that are like that have gotten more PlayStation reviews.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'm sorry, Don, real quick. It's always been the norm, right? Like last gen, most games were reviewed on the 360. You know what I mean? It played, it played better than on PlayStation 3, so I get that. But a lot of them were. The difference was that last gen, they weren't being announced. Like it wasn't reviewed on Xbox 360. Some people did do it. Some people did, but it wasn't as in your face as it has been this generation. Or
definitely the echo chamber, right? Like, because before, they would say it and no one cared. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
unless there was something broken about the version that person wanted to buy, for the most part, no one really cared. And then now what happens is, I think people do care, because I don't think there's a fair representation. But at the same token, it's just play your game, enjoy yourself. Their opinion doesn't have to deal with your opinion, and it shouldn't. One of the biggest tragedies I've seen this generation is people look for validation from other gamers for what they should be liking. Like what you want to like and play it. I don't enjoy Destiny 2.
Dude, you're saying that as a 360 game is being played right now as my gameplay, which it is back compat. This was my game on the 360, my favorite game of that generation, and I still play that now, man.
But you don't look for validation for other people. The same thing, Bot doesn't look for I mean, we joke around about Destiny and give each other a hard time, but at the end of the day, I know Bot does not look for validation of my approval of Destiny.
No.
So he can enjoy it, right?
No.
He plays the game because he wants to.
If that was the case, I would have stopped playing a long time ago, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So here's and then that's what kind of, as a creator, kind of depresses me. Come on, guys, just if you think the game's cool, play the game. Whatever that game is, it's your game, and it's your free time, it's your money. And if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, don't waste your time constantly beating yourself over the head, trying to force yourself to like something you're not liking, and then just get a bitterness from it. Gaming's not supposed to be like that. At least the way I look at it. So.
All right. Now on that note, let's tackle this one last topic. It's in the title, so we got to get it.
And Xbox look like it does have the marketing rights. I'm reading comments all over the place.
Is that the case? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Dark, you owe me $10 now.
I don't owe you shit.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Xbox rent's due, man.
I
Because
don't-
he's asking for money left and right.
I don't wanna. I'm a lazy guy. I don't wanna have to change the title. So we're gonna talk about a response on Twitter by a guy named Z Huge, and Z Huge came out talking about the Xbox One and actually giving sales numbers, saying the Xbox One sold 41 million, and not only that, but digital games purchases are a big part of the Xbox platform, basically compared to the other platforms. So compared to PlayStation 4, and I guess he might be comparing it to the Switch as well. I don't, because I think the Switch is a handheld. So, but on that note, I got to ask you guys, because Z Huge, he did come out and he started talking about Game Pass before that came out, but he was also wrong on a lot of things, and I think a lot of people are giving this guy possibly more credibility than is deserved. You know, first off, I don't really care about sales numbers anymore. Like, this whole active user thing is what's going into next generation. Even Sony is going to be using that. So, you know, people are going to start using active users in the whole kind of like console war thing. At the end of the day, I feel like both consoles did well this generation, and what Xbox did to do a 180 in terms of, I guess you can say, people's impression of the platform this generation has been absolutely incredible to watch. But let's go with let's go with Don here. Don, do you know who Z Huge is, by the way?
I've heard his name come up here and there.
All right, and I feel, me personally, I feel like he might be getting a little more credibility than he is deserved, because, you know, he's been here throughout, you know, this whole generation, and he's claimed things that were right, and he's claimed things that were wrong. So it's like flipping a coin. What do you think about him coming out stating 41 million consoles? Do you care about that? And was it a big stretch to say that digital game sales are a big part of Xbox in comparison to other platforms, man?
So I don't agree with his assessment in regards to that. I think he's more right than Michael Pachter, so I'll give him that in regards to that. And I don't know how much of his information is intentional misinformation to kind of swerve people, because I get a feeling he's doing a little bit of that intentionally here and there, not out of spite, but just kind of hiding sources sort of thing. So hiding truths within false statements there.
So he's just playing with the community then?
Not playing with the community. People do that so sometimes they can hide their sources. So like, say an intentional, something like, you know, I'm not supposed to leak this, but I'm going to leak it. So how they kind of mask it is hide a couple false facts mixed in there with the truth.
Okay.
And you know, gets people talking, and maybe they use it as judging or parameters or whatever for what maybe they do, or, you know, whatever ego they want to, you know,
Stroke.
pop up. Yeah, exactly. You know, so that's kind of my take on it. I actually think the install base on the Xbox One is bigger. I think he's off by 10.
By
10 million.
10? So you think it's more like 51 million?
Yeah, because it's hard to believe, because if you look at the revenue, and you know, you look at how much both companies profit, even with Game Pass, even with higher digital attach rate, it's pretty big. And even like the amount of money that PlayStation spends on marketing, so that obviously affects their profits. It's pretty hard to have that big of a deficit between the two companies with that install base. It's just a hard pill to swallow. It doesn't take away from the fact that Sony is ahead, but I don't know how they're counting their numbers either. In regards, I know they're ahead. I don't know if they're 2-1. You know, I would say they're pretty close to a 2-1, or if not a little bit more than a 2-1. But I just don't see like the numbers making sense. Like, I know some publishers say this was 2 years. Actually, right when we started this podcast, they told me that 60% of their sales on Xbox was digital. That was 2 years ago.
60% 2 years ago, and it should have increased even more.
Yeah, so I haven't talked about what their popular numbers are now, but and they thought a year ago that Xbox was at 40 million based on their estimates. So that's why I say like it.
Oh, we lost him for a second. Hold on. Yo, the hangout
globally.
Yeah, we did lose you for a second. The hangout has been absolutely horrible tonight, by the way.
No.
My apologies to everybody checking out the show. YouTube is being YouTube right now, so
yeah. But I mean that being said, like here's the thing, everybody wants internet fame. I mean, hell, we're all here. As far as that goes.
We're trying to become famous, people.
Yeah, we're internet famous, right? So I mean, I just don't read too much in what he says, but I'm also not trying to discredit the person or anything like that. I just think some of the numbers are off. It's just hard to believe that Microsoft's making that much profit off of only 40 million consoles. But it's also part of its user base. It's part of people feeling comfortable putting their credit card on the system. So there's a lot of factors that, like, obviously they contribute. I think they're on Xbox's side. It's hard to believe that's actually the number and they're able to pull it off. And if Microsoft is, more power to them. I mean, shit. I mean, the server attachment rate is way higher and it's way more higher associated with game sales than any other platform. So no wonder they're using that metric. So, I mean, for what it is.
All right, I got you, man. Now, I got to say, there's certain topics where I get really interested with, like, what a certain panel member thinks about this. Now, I am going to go to Predator on this, because I know, Pred, I know, you're in Twitter. I know you research articles and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you know who Z Huge is, right?
Yeah, I know he is.
All right, so with you knowing his background and everything like that, I got to ask you first if you think people are giving him more credit than he necessarily deserves and like making these comments here more valid than they should be. And what do you think about his numbers, and is it a far-fetched that, digital is really big on Xbox in comparison to the other platforms?
Well, first let's go through a little history of Z Huge. He's the one who blocked everybody.
This is why I wanted to go to you, man.
Who had a Scorpio logo. I've
Yes.
never even talked to the dude. I've never met him. Don't know him. I've never commented on any stuff. I just followed him on Twitter because I follow everybody. You're an Xbox or PlayStation guy, unless you're just talking stupid shit, right?
Was he being attacked at that time, or was
I don't know. He might have been. He might have been.
Like that.
But he ran. What was that website?
I believe he just said he thought it was stupid that people were doing that, and he was basically
well, again, keep in mind what website he works with or for, whatever.
I'm not sure.
I forgot the name of it. It was before Reset, but the other one got shut down.
Damn! Oh, damn! Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can't think of. Oh, why do I have to?
Tip of my tongue too.
That's 2 brain farts on tonight's show, by the way. The first one was Limbo. So
maybe somebody else will give it to me in chat. But before Reset Era came out, there was a website that little group and circle kind of were mods for and stuff like that. And he was one of the major contributors to that as far as dropping knowledge and information there. So that's a pro PlayStation site. So
exactly
for you to say, like, is he getting hyped up too much? Keep in mind who follows him. Who is he not, like, friends with? So keep all that in mind too. So he's not a huge Xbox guy. He's on pro PlayStation podcast. He's on pro PlayStation website. So of course, anything he posts out there is going to get spread around like wildfire amongst our community, because most of our gaming community, just on the Twitter side, is pro PlayStation. So
or we get kind of hounded by like certain extremists out there as well. Man.
Exactly. And so and these are the people who follow him. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. However, let that be the base of everything just from the jump. Like that's who he runs with. So his comments about the sales, he's been right, he's been wrong, and that's anybody's predictions. We've all been right or wrong on the show, multiple times too, about our predictions on things. 41 million, that seems a little low to me. I think I'm with the Don. I think it's closer to maybe 49. Maybe I'll probably give about 49. I don't have any basis of that, but
you have to preface it. didn't beat PlayStation, so people don't attack you.
Yeah, we're not beating PlayStation. But like, what was the other part he said? Give me. I'm having a brain
that
right
basically digital game purchases have a bigger stake. Like a lot more people buy digital games on the Xbox platform, and this is not word for word, people. I'm just putting out the idea of what he said.
Paraphrase, yeah. Okay, yeah. I got the gist of it now. So, I mean, and that comment I can actually believe because,
dude, it's common sense though if you think about it.
Yeah, because I think all of us, for the most part, are digital now. Like, I know in the beginning of this generation, we were like pro
NeoGaf.
Yeah, we got it. NeoGaf. That's what it was.
Abacab, you are the man tonight. Thank you.
See how short we forgot about that. How it's been like what, less than a year maybe.
Yeah,
maybe?
it's been about a year. Less than a year.
Completely forgotten about that website. So like, you may forget I was saying when you threw out NeoGaf out there. So, who do we lose? Oh, we lost Knox. He's dropped out.
He probably had to go.
But yeah, for that, I mean, like, keep in mind, like in the beginning of this generation, and even like, I mean, I was about to say the beginning of the Xbox One X, but the beginning of the generation, we're all like, oh, we need physical. We got to have these discs in the stores, and we slowly kind of transitioned over to digital.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least on the Xbox side.
Even like Lady Foxfire and Crap Gamer, they were completely
hardcore
physical. You talk to them today, and you can see how things have changed.
Yeah, and it's even. I mean, you can get digital games. You can go on Amazon and download the game, or get the code. It's so convenient. It is like you don't have to get up, you know. And like the only thing I buy physical now, like no shit, is my Switch games, because I'm still like on the fence if I'm going to keep this motherfucker or not, right? So like I want to get some money for this shit at some point in time.
Now Metroid, they are completely redoing that. They're going back to the original developers, so you're not going to see.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have another Fable issue, and
no, we're not. It's
Crackdown 3
Nintendo.
issue.
It's Nintendo. It's okay. All right.
We're gonna have another Crackdown 3 issue here.
Yeah, consistency, it matters. I'm just saying.
What'd you say, Don?
Consistency, it matters.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I mean, but we've all kind of transitioned over to digital because it kind of makes more sense to us now, right? Like, and before we were fighting it, now it's like, you know what? I can just take this hard drive out. I can take it up to the other room and pop it in. I can just game share with everybody. I can, so yeah, of course.
Game share is huge.
That is game share and play anywhere, because I can play Crackdown on my PC and on my Xbox. And if I really want the visuals, like Forza, I play Forza on my PC. I rarely play on my Xbox. A lot of the single player games I get, like for the Xbox side, I play on my PC. Just because.
Hey Fred, let me ask you this question though: if your personal information, do you trust yourself on both consoles?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, for my, I don't, because I don't have PS Plus.
Okay, and I know that sounds like I'm picking on PlayStation, and some people do and some people don't, right? But I think that really hinders people's ability to buy digitally on that platform.
That's a fair statement, just because of the issues they've had in the past. But and if you had to ask me that now, I feel more confident buying shit on Xbox because I've never had a problem with them.
Yeah, and then that's stuff. And that's the thing. So when you're exposed to, say, a loot crate or a DLC, or you have that
buying shit online,
you have that impulse reaction. How convenient is it for you to just kind of go over to the store, couple buttons, and purchase something?
Yeah, and you know what? I'll back up. I have had one issue with Xbox, but you know what? I called them and it was fixed. Like I called them and I was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. I didn't purchase this," and they immediately did it took them 24 hours to investigate the issue and refund my money back. They only thing I would say is the fact they blocked my account, but that was for my safety, to make sure nothing else happened on my account. Mm-hmm. And when people get blocked out, I see people complain about this all the time. Like, oh, someone hacked my account and Microsoft has had me down for 3 days. Well, that's for you. That's to make sure that your shit's taken care of. And they do the investigation right and make sure no one else buys any other shit on your console. So
they'll wipe your account before you know it, right?
Yeah, so they stop that from happening. So calm your tits when that happens. Like, they're doing their job, But like I've seen horror stories of PlayStation where someone does the same thing and they won't even give them their fucking money back. You know, like you see this shit all the time. But like, I mean, in your situation, Don, like I'm in complete agreement with you. I feel more comfortable on the Xbox side as far as sharing my digital footprint with Microsoft versus sharing it with Sony, because I think they do a better job with their security.
I think that just has a lot to contribute to why you see a lot more physical sales on the PlayStation side, a lot less DLC, a lot less, additional transactions done on that side of that console.
Well, it's also why like the freaking the cards, for PS Plus and everything like that. Why, so many of them are being sold on Amazon. Not a lot of people don't want to put their credit cards like, on the fucking system. Yeah.
Well, so then that raises the point, right? So like, and I know this is like a sidetrack story. Just these are the things that Don thinks about, right? But when you're like, oh crap, I want to get that DLC. I'm like, okay, I have to log on to Amazon. You pull up a tablet or turn on your PC, and then you buy something off Amazon. And by the time you get back to your console, you're like, what was I going to buy? You know what I mean? It kind of creates this break in the flow between the consumer.
That ease of purchase there, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so important in regards to, it's kind of like when you have a bad experience at a restaurant, you don't keep going back to that same restaurant, or if you have a bad experience at a store, you don't just keep going back to that store. So like, and not everyone has bad experiences on PlayStation, but there are a lot of stories that are out there, and how much truth to them or not, like I'm not taking a side, but they're out there, and that makes people think twice on that platform. So
I got you. Now, Dark, do you have anything to chime in on here? Do you know about like Z Huge, like through the last few years or whatnot? Do you think people are giving his statements here more credibility than he actually deserves right now?
Actually, I don't know who you guys are talking about because of the fact that I don't tend to.
I had a quick run-in with him. He don't like me.
It's not that I don't care. It's just that I don't tend to get involved with people who are negative about things with gaming and stuff. I always try to be a positive gamer. I always try to be more along the lines of kind of a neutral in a way. I know filthy neutrals. King
neutral. There we go.
A filthy neutrals. I get it. Whatever. You guys can say whatever you want, but I mean, I from what you guys are saying, like, I don't know if any of it, what he says, is holding any weight. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him. I've never been around him. I've never, I don't know. I don't know what his content is. I don't know anything about this guy because this is literally the first time I've ever heard of him.
Wow, really?
And that's not to discredit him or anything like that.
You realize he's got the word huge in his name, right?
No, I do. Huge. No, I get it. No, I get that, but I've never heard of him because I don't.
He's saying he should be big deal.
maybe I don't know. I just think that he's just he's playing the game. He's playing the entertainment game. That's what we're doing here. That's what everybody does on their channel. They're playing the game. They're playing the role of, hey, if whatever's gonna get me more views, it's gonna give me more views. That's what I want. That's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get money for it, and you can't be mad about that. Sorry, you just can't. And if you are mad about it, then maybe you should do it yourself.
No, I will never be like that. If you have seen the last video I did, I definitely
I know. Not everybody's like that, but I'm saying like a lot of people are like that. There are a lot of people who are like that, and that's fine. Let them do their thing. Let them be who they are. Yeah. Like that's not who they are really, but that's just they're putting on a persona, they're putting on a mask for the audience so that the audience can come in and enjoy their content. I mean, there's nothing. That's capitalism right there. That's why we have this thing called entertainment, is because it's there for us to be entertained. So.
All right, I got you, brother. Before we move on to K-Mega, I just want to say Predator, the Resident Evil 2 like gameplay with your background and everything, this looks sick right now, in my opinion. Like that.
So does that mean you're gonna pick up Resident Evil 2 then?
I'm not paying $60 for a remake. I'm sorry, brother.
It's not technically a remake though.
No, they even say it in the title, remake. All right.
Yeah,
don't,
but it.
How is it not a
think
remake if remake is in the title?
I mean, we can get into this another day. But
Oh my
I
goodness,
think
yo,
there's a
Mega.
lot more.
Mega, I think you know who Z Huge is, right? We've seen like his comments throughout this generation.
Oh yeah.
I gotta ask you, do you feel like people are giving his statement, especially this one now? I've seen a lot of like kind of like pro Xbox people giving more credibility to him now because of these statements, and I think a lot of it has to do with the digital sales thing. In my opinion, I feel like that's just common sense. We're in the community. We're a part of that platform. We talk to people, and a lot of people are digital on the Xbox platform. So I thought that was a no-brainer. But do you think people are giving him more credibility than he like deserves with this whole 41 million as well?
Yeah. I mean, because he's been a PlayStation source forever. It was what Pred was saying. Like, I mean, that's where he got most of his listeners was from. I can remember when I first got on Bang Bang, and that was, when PlayStation Dudes was bringing out so-called numbers and things of that nature, it was coming from him. And look, I get it. I remember I asked Tim Dog the other day, I was like, how credible is this dude? And Tim Dog says it's pretty credible, whatever. And so I still looked at it, but I remember I go back to what Delilah was said on GRG one episode, and it was basically talking about when Xbox were talking about numbers that during that final time, it was around 36 million, and that was what, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 2.5 years ago. So again, to only sell 5 million copies, 5 million consoles within that 2.5 year stretch, but then yet earn profits of in the billions is like
the numbers don't add up, right?
Yeah, the numbers just don't add up. Plus the fact that you just seen that the Microsoft CEO was a nominee, or did he win an award for Tech Guy of the Year?
Mm-hmm.
So something is amiss here. Now look, I understand we've seen other YouTubers, they say that they talked to certain people that say that they knew the numbers and did the number crunching game and said it was at like 32, 31 million, somewhere around 36 million.
It's only 13 million, man. Let's be real.
But look, and so it's like Don said, like right now, instead of talking about Nintendo's attach rate, everybody should be talking about Xbox attach rate, and then how to sell the least consoles and make incredible money. You know what I'm saying? Like incredible profit. So it's like
kind of dream, to be honest.
Right.
So you'll sell enough consoles to recover your cost of development and get the console in people's homes. At that point, you want to make sure people purchase things.
Yo, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out in the chat real quick. A quick shout out real quick. Yo, shout out to Ryan the Professional in the chat. What is up, my brother? It is good to see you in here as well. But go ahead, guys.
Go ahead.
No. I killed the flow. No. I killed the flow. Is what I did.
That was it. Yeah. See, it's not Devin the Gamer anymore. It's Devin the Gamer and FactorBot 448.
FactorBot.
The Dev, the Gamer, and the bot.
Interrupter Bot 448. Yeah.
Let you get an edge in wise bot.
No,
you guys were all cutting each other off, and then I say something, and people are like, "Oh, look at Xbox always cutting people off."
It's because
they're on topic,
dude. That's why we're doing that to you, because it's fun.
Giving praise to somebody.
My defensive. You okay there,
I know
bud?
he gets so defensive.
Hey, how about after the podcast we play a little Anthem?
Give you a hug.
I would love to if my freaking code works.
Oh man. Okay. So regardless. The thing of it here is, to me, is look, people can take it for whatever it is. For PlayStation fans, this is some of this tip they had off on for even more, because like I said on GRG last night, it's just like, Xbox got taken to the woodshed and got that shit beat out of them. In the sales, if you look at it, that's like damn near 60 million consoles, like You know, they're like, that's more than 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. That's ridiculous.
Okay,
So,
let me stop you for a second. This just real quick, just for the people out there listening. We've been at 35 million for how many years now? You didn't tell me we've only sold 6 million consoles in 3 years.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if people want to tout and keep saying that PlayStation is I mean, Xbox is still at this number, then let them do it. I mean, that's the whole thing to me is like, yeah, it used to be a fun topic to talk about. And there was somebody in the chat that brought up, well, yeah, if Xbox do get to the point to where they're outselling PlayStation, I bet that'll be a different story. For some, yeah, they'll use that as part of their console war narrative. I don't care about the sales. I don't care about the MPDs. I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? I kept it real. And when finding out about PlayStation was third in the MPDs, I didn't make a video about it. I sit there and barely talked about it myself on the show. It's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter, because the way that this rolls is that gaming is healthy, and it is not going to change my perspective of what I like to play and where I like to play the games on. So, and once a lot of gamers get that, then they wouldn't be in their feelings about a certain fans that want to just brag about their console selling the most right now. So, I mean, look, those sale numbers it could be believable, it could be true, but at this point in time, I mean, we already know who outsold everybody this generation. So everybody's playing for second or third place at this point. So, I mean, it's just only just bragging rights for one, and the rest is just fighting for just being the ones that's left behind. So who gives a shit?
I got one question though for you though.
I
got one more question for you. Do you enjoy your console more if it sells more?
No, because I'm not on my PlayStation nowhere like I'm on my Xbox. I'm on my Xbox 95% of the time than I am on my PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm only halfway through. I mean, that could be applied to anyone. It doesn't matter what console you play. If you play PlayStation, PC, or Xbox,
no, I
more because other people play it, or you enjoy it because of what the hardware is offering you.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, I mean, that's the whole reason why I became an Xbox gamer. You know, the Xbox became my primary console, is the fact that I enjoy what the Xbox brings more than the competitors. And that's not a slate towards PlayStation or towards Nintendo or towards PC. It's just that I'm comfortable in that space. And just like a PlayStation fan that feels the same way, except just opposite about how they feel about their PlayStation, that's their primary console, that all should matter. That's the only thing that should matter to them. Who cares about the sales? Who cares about who's making the most money? You know what I'm saying? We do it, you know what I'm saying? I do it to talk a little shit because it's funny to me, because there's so many PlayStation fans that hate it. So I just like to nudge them. But to me, it's like that point doesn't matter, because hell, I'm giving them money, you're giving them money. And so the thing of it is like, one thing we're recouping is games. And hopefully that we all get good quality games at the end of the day, and that the market stays healthy so we can still keep getting quality games. That's really what it all comes down to.
One thing I will state, and Z Black Rider in the chat did make a good point. 2017 was a really bad year for Xbox, like as a whole. You know, selling hardware, not having like a lot of games to put out there and stuff like that. I believe that was kind of like their
that weird lull during the middle of summer.
That was their lightest year.
The Slim wasn't selling really well. Yeah.
There's a weird dip that happened in the middle of summer right before the X came out, and then it picked back up after the X.
Yeah.
Everybody was more anticipating the X because. Look, I think the whole strategy with Xbox now is that since they now know what they're doing, is that what we've been saying, is that the X is going to be future proof, for the sense that for the gamer who doesn't want to buy an Anaconda or want to deal with the X Cloud, they can just get an X, and the X will be affordable, and then that's going to be right there. Or this Lockhart, if the rumors are true about it, it's going to be a little bit more powerful than the X or whatever.
Yeah, but if they're doing forwards compatibility and the Lockhart is around like $350 or so, this Xbox One X is going to get some major price drops between now and the release of that hardware.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So Xbox is in a real good place because there's so many options. PlayStation is only going to be just one option, and that's going to be the PlayStation 5. And it's going to be where if they don't do forwards capability, with most of their with all of their big games, or most for me, I can see them doing Ford's capability with their exclusives, but maybe not so much with all their third parties, and that will alienate a lot of gamers.
Well, and that's I think what people always complain about the whole big PC push, right? That are traditional console people, but that's what the big PC push is for. Not only so they can grow on that platform, but also getting developers in that frame of mind. Hey, the DX12 that you're making games for, same DX12 on your PC, same DX12 that's on our platforms, right? And it's getting everyone kind of used to those different performance profiles that's out there, and it's about minimizing the work for the developer so it's easy to do. Because if it's easy to do, and you get another 20 million sell or potential 20 million sales or whatever it may be by making backwards compat, that's what's going to drive that. I just don't see that ever being an issue, because even on the PC side of things are going to be lower spec than what our current consoles are. As much as people brag about the PCs, there's some people that brag about spending the least amount of money so they can play games on PC. Those exist too. So,
right. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, look, I mean, I think that I can't tell you if he's telling the truth or not, but the only thing I know is that it's, we know PlayStation is outsold everything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like The Rock. It doesn't matter what you're saying. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yo, but guys, we are almost at 9:30 right now, and we had a great show. We had a lot of energy. There was some back and forth going on. There was some quality, smooth talk as well. I believe we had a complete show tonight. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we gotta get those plugs in. And I am gonna start with the first man that invaded tonight. That I didn't know he was gonna show up, and he did. It was awesome to have him on. The Angry Otter himself, Dark Optimus. Why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you to talk games, and if you have anything planned for this week coming, man?
Yeah, if you guys want to find my neutral ass on Twitter, you can find it at Dark Optimus. You can also find me at Dark Optimus on Xbox
Is that
Live.
your handle?
No, that's not my
ass.
neutral ass.
Neutral ass otter.
Neutral ass otter. Yeah. No, you guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Optimus, and Xbox Live with the same name. This week I'll probably be playing some Kingdom Hearts 3 because I'm excited for that. I still have no idea what's going on in that game, but I don't care because I want to play it, and it's gonna be fun.
I don't care because they got Disney characters.
Hold.
And we have summonses, so it's okay.
You're saying Bob must have gotten to the Anthem demo?
Yeah.
What? I got to get in. I'm gonna try to get in.
K-Megan, you up?
Okay. All right. Well,
can you hear me?
Coming and checking us out yet again.
Me?
You know what I'm saying? I want to give a big shout out to my boy Knox. I know me and him had a little back and forth. I hope he don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? So
Every time you come at me, I always take it personal. So
well, I mean, I really don't give a shit about your feelings. But regardless of that, but no, other than that, no, I just you know what I'm saying? It just hey, check us all out. Sub, you know what I'm saying? Sub my channel, KMega405. Come follow me on Twitter at KMega4. You know what I'm saying? I bring up good stuff, and then there's always somebody that's mad about something that I post. So you can go in there and check that out too. That's always funny and fun. And then fuck. I mean,
hello.
What else we got? Oh yeah, next show. We hope that I don't burn this house down by over here trying to work on this new PC. So let's you know what I'm saying, hopefully everything will be nice and crisp, and Bot can over here complain about me bringing some superpower to his to that game.
You just gotta bring it on time, man.
Bruh, I work.
Yo,
I work hard.
Brother, you have lives there, Bot?
Brother,
we got lives,
brother,
man.
when you have 2 weeks, you can do bits and pieces throughout those, and then get everything done, man. It wasn't that hard.
But you're in for a treat. This PC is powerful enough from to render everything in 4K 60 for you. So,
yo, Don, are you going over to his house and help him put that together?
No, Mega's more capable than than you give him credit for.
Well, yeah.
You make me sound like a hater right now,
man. It's Mega.
Damn. Listen, yeah, it's the old fat guy. He don't
made a
know.
couple mistakes, but you know,
You know what? Hey, Oklahoma State's a good.
That's what I love about Optimus. He makes me sound. He makes me sound nicer.
Delicious.
But yeah.
And you're right. I do love Sea of Thieves, man. We definitely got to get some Sea of Thieves streaming. So we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We have to do that sometime, maybe tomorrow.
To have us stream that throughout the week occasionally.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to. We have to.
All right. Now check this out. The Don.
Fool.
Yo, Don. Thank you for coming in, man. We had no idea you were coming in. I love the aspect of you guys just being able to come in if you have time, if there's a topic you want to talk about, just kind of jumping in with us, you know. But why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you to talk games and what is going on with your YouTube channel, man?
Man, I was working on my YouTube channel and I was getting frustrated because my computer was crashing, trying to do this particle effect. So I'm just like, I'm done. I'm just gonna hop on. I know everything will work if I do that. But things are going. I actually have several videos all in the works. I just have to put the intro in, and that's what I'm doing right now because I want to kind of do it up professionally. So once I get this intro finished, things will start dropping on a regular basis. So if you want to sub, go to my Twitter handle. My YouTube link is on there, and if you want to sub, it's right there. And eventually, you'll get a notification. I don't know when, but it will.
It'll happen.
It will happen.
It'll be in the dead middle of the night, and your phone's gonna go off, and you're gonna be like, you know what? I gotta watch this. I've been waiting for a video on this channel for so long.
So what I'm gonna do is put a tease, and then put another teaser of that tease, and then another teaser.
Oh, so you're just Death Stranding.
So you can do like a box within a box.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be that. And
it's been on point tonight.
Yeah, and I want to have my 2-year plan of teasing content for XBot potentially. So
2-year plan.
2-year plan. That's what Bot wants.
2-year plan without anything.
And make sure that if you got anything multiplayer, make sure you call it a demo so they can talk.
Okay.
Wow, are we gonna bring it back? Are we gonna bring it back right now, man? Yo,
hey, no, come on, Mega. You don't have to do that, man.
Hey, we're on outros.
Yeah, we can be peaceful.
We're gonna play some games tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna play some Anthem tonight.
Yo, speaking of that, Predator, why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you to talk games, and if you're gonna do 6-man, throughout the week, if you're gonna be on any other shows that you know of, man.
Not that I know of this week. Just Saturday here again. I guess I'll show up again.
We need you.
Anthem.
You were the MVP tonight, man.
Anthem the rest of the week. Yeah, right. Thanks. I don't know, man. They had this little chat going on the sidebar over there between K-Meg and Knox. So I was kind of
that was a little sketch. I was like, oh man,
is that still going
on right now?
No. But Predator _HOS on Xbox Live, PlayStation, and Steam, and most likely be on Anthem on PC and a little bit on Xbox the rest of the night. So I'm down. Y'all down.
Nice, brother. Nice. And huge shout out to Knoxximus, who he had to run. He had to catch the train to get to work. I did see him in the chat. You can just click on his name in the chat. It'll bring you right to his YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to that because his videos are absolutely hilarious and informative and all about gaming as well. A very unique experience. You got to go check out his videos. With that being said, guys, it is Saturday night and the gamers got a game. We got to get the controllers.
The gamers got to build.
Got to get the controllers in our hands. Yeah, you're not going to be gaming. You're going to be building. You're going to be like, what does this?
I'll game a little bit.
What does this piece do?
Yeah, I know. I will be looking stupid.
He's gonna start cracking pieces off his motherboard.
Mega, there are certain things you don't use as thermal paste. Suntan lotion. Paste.
I thought that was like never mind.
All right, guys, we gotta wrap. Yo, guys, the poll is live. By the way, just go to Twitter at Ep.4 and vote for who you thought had the best gameplay for tonight's show. We have K-Mega, we have Predator, we have myself, and we have Knoxximus. Go ahead and vote. It is on Twitter. It is pinned right to the top at Ep.4. Huge shout out to everybody who came to check out the show live. Guys, thank you guys so much for the support. It really means a lot to us, and hopefully we'll see you guys here again next Saturday. But I'm going to end the show the way I always do. We will see you next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Penis Demon.
Oh.
Check out GRG on Friday nights.
Oh, it's so nasty.
Man, this is why I don't always come on.
It's so nasty.